Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Tarot, and today's reading is about what is about to be revealed to you. This could be any sort of revelation with any sort of topic. I try to keep it as open and general as possible in this reading, but some of them tended to lean more towards others, towards certain topics than others. But we have 5 piles here for you today. The first pile, we have this agate moon. Pile 2, we have a soapstone owl. It's a favorite here. She's so cute. Pile 3, we have this gorgeous Lemurian or Tibetan quartz. I can't remember which one it is, but it is a gorgeous stone, one of my favorites. Pile 4, we have smoky quartz. And pile 5, we have this onyx bison or buffalo. So take a few deep breaths, think about your situation, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the moon agate, then we have a reading here for you about what is about to be revealed to you. We're going to see what new exciting or unforeseen things are going to come into your life, or any information that may be revealed. This is a little bit more freeform, but this is about things that you should or need to know. So we're going to start with the cards you chose. Let's go ahead and look at those. We have Manat Destiny. Oh, okay, so very ominous right away. I do feel like whatever this is about your destiny, something that you are fated to do or something that is fated to happen. And then we have Sun Splendor. Oh, I love this. Number 53. So I do feel like there's something rather beautiful on the horizon. I will read from the book for this, but let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards to see what is coming through. For my pile 1, we have the gem. Interesting. Look how there's like a lot of color. So these two decks, I mean, they're by the same person, but there's like this, there's something about color coming into your life, or maybe you're going through like a bit of a gray era, a black and white era. There's something about your life, either right now or maybe in the past, that has been rather a little lifeless, a little colorless. Maybe you're a little bored. Maybe things are a little too calm. So something beautiful is about to happen. We have Pisces material, create space, a house without walls. When the walls start to close in, you need to find wide open spaces. Dissolve the boundaries. It may be that you need more space in your calendar or the freedom to let yourself wander. So this is definitely giving you advice to create some space in your life for whatever is about to come, or whatever this is meant to be. Because right now, like I said, there's a little bit of a black and white, a grayness. This could mean that you are either too busy for certain fun things, or maybe you're focusing too much on the day-to-day things, whether that's work, whether that's responsibilities. I feel like you're not making enough space or time for fun, or even just to wander. Because when I think of Pisces, I think of creative energy. Maybe you're not making enough space in your life right now for creative pursuits or even fun, like just doing things for the heck of it, for fun, not because you need to do something. This is like when you have free time, you would rather do chores rather than, I don't know, do whatever creative thing you like to do, whether that's play music, dance around for fun, not for exercise, paint, creating something here. This is like cooking for fun versus cooking because you need to eat. That specifically came through because I actually had the time to cook for fun yesterday. I made some brownies, which, people don't need brownies, but it's fun to cook. It's fun to be in the kitchen and create something. Not only that, but they were healthier than your average brownie, so, winning in multiple ways. Let's go ahead and get more cards for you, pile 1. So you're definitely getting a little bit more fun and color in your life. We have, okay, 2 cards came out. We have water, primordial, and growth, spiral. I feel like in doing something that is meant for your enjoyment, like something that is purely for joy, you're actually going to grow. It's like, how children learn through playing? That's what I'm seeing. And that's not the first time that energy has popped through in one of my readings. So somebody here, I feel like you're just a little bit too, maybe not too stuffy, but you're definitely focusing a lot on like responsibilities, on the day-to-day grind, on the things that are very practical, the things that you are meant to do. But remember to have fun. Like, create some space, carve out some time in your day for fun. Even if you have, especially if you have kids, I feel like this is easy to do. Like, you might be doing a lot of things for your children, but the truth is sometimes they just enjoy playing with you, and it's a beautiful bonding moment between you and your children. I don't know if they've done like studies on this, but I'm sure it releases some sort of like I don't know, like endorphins or chemicals or something like that, that actually contribute to their brain growth. Don't quote me on that. That is coming through very channel, like that. I'm channeling that. So I don't know if this is true or not. Those of you who know anything about that, please confirm this. But it wouldn't surprise me if, children are healthier when they have parents who play with them. I feel like that definitely helps them develop all sorts of skills, not just social, but also interpersonal. It helps them feel good about themselves. I feel like, yeah, there's something beautiful about playing with your children or making time to just have fun with them. But even if you don't have kids, your pets, make time to play with them. And same thing with yourself. Like, play is part of your development. Playing is part of your growth. With water here in primordial, maybe some of you need to spend time around water as well. If you live near a body of water, you could be called to just go hang out there, go have fun there. Or if you like any sort of sport or recreational activity, same thing. Even fishing. I think my favorite thing about fishing, I've never gone fishing, but I would imagine that if I did, my favorite thing would just be being in the boat and looking at the water and thinking, wow, this is peaceful. Because I don't eat fish. I don't care for catching fish. That can be for whoever's into that. But for me personally, I would just like being on a boat in the middle of the lake or ocean or whatever. But let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. Pile 1. We have the Egyptian Gods Oracle. So I feel like you're destined to have fun and create something. We have Apophis, darkness. Interesting. Yeah, it's like you're coming out of the darkness, or maybe there's currently a lot of darkness here, and therefore you have to bring in a lot of color. It makes me think of how like the aesthetics of certain Scandinavian countries are very bright and colorful because they are very cold and sometimes dark countries during certain times of the year. I love seeing pictures of places like Norway or Iceland because, well, I just wonder how those countries do it with so much snow and such a long winter and times when the sun is barely out. But there's such a happy-go-lucky attitude there, not for everyone I'm sure, but in general, it's very colorful, it's very cute, and I feel like they have to be because otherwise I think they'd go crazy with those long winters. Let's get another card, and this is actually from the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and I was called to use this deck even though I hadn't used it in a moment because there's something about your destiny here. Purification. Let's get one more. And abundance. Okay, this is actually helping you bring in abundance. So what I'm seeing, what's being revealed to you is that you have to partake in having more fun and in letting your creativity soar, maybe in different ways, because this is meant to grow you. Not only that, but it's meant to bring in abundance. And with purification, I kind of see this as a card of transformation or renewal, specifically like purification as in you're releasing energy. Some of you release energy when you create something, whether you acknowledge this or not. The way I see as energy release is it's more spiritual. It's more like energy healing. That's the way that I acknowledge releasing energy the most directly. But for some of you, or maybe some of you who don't even do this might want to get into this, I feel like when you create something, you release an emotion, you release a blockage, you open up a part of yourself to something new here. So whether it's in the process of mixing colors to create some sort of piece of artwork, or whether it's learning how to move your body in a new way so that you can dance a certain way, I feel like you release something here. And there's something about learning to bring light into your world as well. And you can take this as metaphorically or more directly if we're talking about spiritual pursuits here, because I feel like there is some sort of transgression happening and you're going to need to have a little bit more fun. Because especially I think if you're having a rough time or if you're going through something stressful, having fun will actually help you out a lot. Some of the people who manifest the most that I've known are actually people who party every weekend or every other day or something along those lines. I don't know how they do it. I don't have the energy for that. But oddly enough, they're able to do it, and somehow they manifest a lot, either because they're just, really, really cherishing and marinating themselves in that high vibrational energy. And by marinating, of course, it could even be marinating in other things. But here it's kind of there's something about getting yourself out of the darkness, because with Apophis here and then purification, I feel like you've been in the dark for some time. Maybe some of you have gone through a hermit mode, because this is what Manat makes me think of. She kind of looks like the Hermit a little bit here. I will read from her because I'm not very familiar with her and I'd like to learn. But there's something about stepping into this world of color, allowing the sun to show you the colors, not the colors of the wind, but the colors of the world here. Because for a lot of you, this is meant to help you grow. You're meant to learn something through having fun, through allowing color and light into your world, whether that's literally or metaphorically. And somehow that will actually bring in abundance. Either you're creating something that you can actually do to bring in money, like maybe you create a piece of artwork that you can then sell and turn it into, you know, a cash flow kind of thing for some of you. Especially those of you who are like right now worrying about your finances. And then for some of you, there's this feeling that you're not seeing the potential within yourself. And it starts by taking the steps to create something here. I really do feel you're creating something beautiful for the world that you're meant to share with everybody. Because we have Pisces here, I mean, some of you could be Pisces, or you could have something like Mars in Pisces or Jupiter in Pisces, where taking up very Pisces hobbies would probably help you out. And by that, again, I consider those to be things like dance, meditation, yoga, any creative pursuit, especially the artistic kind, music especially, because this is Neptunian energy. With Neptunian energy, I feel like you can kind of create something out of fantasy or something out of nothing, and that is like it's like translating the ethereal into more mundane kind of terms. I hope that makes sense. It's like you're taking something out of fantasy and creating a reality with it. But let's go ahead and read for Manat. For my pile 1, we have Destiny. Manat is the Arabian goddess of fate, fortune, time, and death. She is the oldest of 3 sister goddesses and rules alongside her sisters, Al-Lat and Al-Uzza. As the goddess of death, she is a protectress of graves and curses those who disturb them. Upon death, one is greeted by Manat carrying her chalice of death. Pilgrims to her shrine shave their heads and stand before her idol to ask for her blessings. Peer deeply inside yourself and observe what is important to you. What is it in your life that illuminates the darkness? That is where you need to be focusing your energy. Time can so quickly slip through our fingers, so don't wait any longer to go after your dreams. Set your intentions and be clear with what you want to create. Mana is guiding you in crafting your own beautiful destiny. And literally that entire paragraph just kind of it illuminates what I've already said. I feel like for a lot of you, you're meant to bring light and color into your life because you're meant to create something beautiful here with that particular skill. Let me go ahead and read for Sun Splendor as well. Okay, this page took me a minute to look for because the pages were so stuck together. I feel like some of you are very resistant to whatever this is. Like I keep hearing some of you make excuses as to why you can't do any of that because you're too busy for XYZ. I feel like you're never too busy to indulge yourself and have some fun, pile 1. I feel some of you needed to hear that. But with this, we have generosity, health, and abundance. Revel in the glory of splendor solis. There are several cards in the alchemy deck that relate to the sun, yet this card specifically depicts the long-term effects of its radiance. Think abundance, fulfillment, and altruism. Envision celebration and collaboration. But is it possible in our complex world? The sun's splendor says yes, one day and one ray at a time. When Splendor Solis arrives in the laboratory, the alchemist realizes that kindness and generosity are the secret ingredients. All other paths fall away. Through giving back to others and the world, we become more like the sun itself, radiant light and expecting nothing in return. Don't know where to start? Thank someone. Then thank another person. Soon the alchemist finds they are not alone in their laboratory, and miracles arrive both small and large. Yeah, this is beautiful. Like I said, there's abundance, health, and generosity here. Maybe some of you need to spend more time with people. And with thanking, of course, gratitude is coming into play here. So even if you can't find the time to have fun with yourself, for yourself, I feel like you can at the very least practice a little bit of gratitude, which takes but a few seconds a day. I'm thinking of, what was it? It was a scene, like a video of Snoop Dogg thanking everybody at some awards or ceremony or something, and then he thanks himself. So if there's nobody else you feel like thanking, pile 1, at the very least thank yourself and thank your own spirit here, because I feel like you've gotten yourself to where you are and you definitely deserve that very thanks. The world is grateful for you. You're grateful for yourself. I'm grateful for you for clicking on this reading and allowing me to give you some divine guidance here, pile one. So yeah, I absolutely love this energy. I feel like you're coming out of the darkness, or maybe some of you have felt that you have been in darkness, and the way to come out of it is through just embracing this beautiful light, embracing this rainbow, embracing what you can because you're meant to. And for those of you, like I said, water could be important, but also a bit of an emotional release. I feel like some of you have been holding some emotions, and I feel like we all do that. We all hold on to emotions because throughout our day, we're so busy doing whatever we need to do that we'll have emotional things happen to us, but we don't have the time, nor is it the right place to be having those emotional breakdowns. So if you feel the need to cry, don't be afraid to cry. If you need to go home and just have your emotional outbursts there because you know you can't have it out in public, that's okay too. That's part of taking care of yourself. Think of again, I'm thinking of children. Like how whatever they feel, whenever they feel it, that's just how they act. They don't care. You know, a 4-year-old will get mad at the littlest thing that makes them mad, and they don't care who knows it. They don't care if it's appropriate or not. And of course, we're not children, but sometimes that's healthy because we release what we feel at that very moment, and it doesn't bother us further along the way, further along our path, you know? So if you can, don't be afraid of being honest with yourself and how you feel. I know I am that way with certain people, the people who I can be that way around, of course, and in not so professional settings. But if this sounds like you, if this sounds like something you want to keep hearing about, let's move on to the tarot. And I'm going to do a petal reading at the end of this reading as well, because I just feel like channeling something freeform here. Some of my favorite readings are the ones where there's no real set theme or subject, because sometimes a beautiful message come through that you really needed to hear. So we're using the Weaver Tarot here for my pile. For my pile one, what is about to be revealed to them? Something a little bit more concrete. I'm being told to just lay out the cards and then clarify them. So let's get 5 cards. Okay, these two. Queen of Wands, 8 of Cups. She wanted to come out reverse. Should I keep her reverse? Yes. And this is definitely something about the future. Some of you are about to go through a glow up. And this may or may not be related to the oracles, by the way. This could be a separate message altogether. We have the King of Pentacles. The Ace of Wands. Interesting. Queen of Swords. Some of you are focusing a lot less on your looks, and you're focusing a lot more, not just on your stability, not just on your finances, but also your intelligence. It's like, especially for those of you, like I see this a lot with specifically women, feminine identifying and a little bit more straight women. As they get older, you know, when we're young, we focus a lot on our looks, we focus a lot on our clothes. We may do some dumb things because we want to attract a right partner or just look good for our social media or whatever. And as we get older, we prioritize, you know, comfort. We prioritize thinking smart. That's what I'm seeing. So there's definitely a bit of a maturity here. I feel like some of you are going to mature regardless of what age you are at, because I feel like some of you are kind of done trying to look a certain way for certain people, or you're done trying to pretend that everything's okay when the truth is you're not okay with something. And somehow it's like the Queen of Swords is reigning over the Queen of Wands. Logic and critical thinking is reigning over over looking good, over keeping up with appearances, because one negative aspect of the Queen of Wands is that she will save face and ignore her feelings. Like she will pretend that everything's okay and that everything is going well, and ignore that there are actually some pretty bad things going on. It's very much like, think of an actress or an actor. Regardless of your gender here, I'm just using the example of feminine energy because it's what I see here the most. With the King of Pentacles, I do feel like a lot of you are stepping into, again, an era of abundance. And I feel like, oddly enough, if you've been spending a lot of money on things like clothes and makeup, or even anything, any sort of vanity thing, I feel like you would rather look a little ugly and have some money so that you have a roof over your head. That's what I'm seeing for some of you. So this is definitely like a pile where some of you are maturing, or you're just readjusting your priorities here, because I feel like a lot of you, it's kind of like, and I see this a lot in the dating life, like myself included. So I'm calling myself out here too, pile one. I'm not just calling you out. We spend so much money on makeup and looking good, and it's like, what for? I don't even want to go on dates. I just want to look good for me but I know I'm going to accept me with this cheaper makeup as much as I would with this high-end expensive makeup. So that's a little bit more on the nose, but regardless, I feel like a lot of you, like I said, you're done putting up with appearances for the sake of getting approval from people that you may not even really care about or really have anything to do with. The Ace of Wands is letting me know that regardless, there is going to be like this reigniting of your passions, and that's going to lead you to something a lot more fulfilling, specifically mentally fulfilling. This could be my pile of people who have been searching for something that is much more like mentally stimulating. I feel like some of you might get bored easily, hence why you're probably on YouTube a lot. Like, I know I love YouTube because I can learn about anything and everything. It's worth more to me than a lot of like, you know, any other type of streaming service or any type of, like, I can't do long series. Like, I lose interest very quickly, or if like if they start taking a wrong narrative or a narrative that I don't care for, I just lose interest. But with places like here, and I swear I'm not being sponsored, I'm still not even monetizing this channel, I can't, but I'm seeing some of you just prioritizing that which you know is good for you, that which you know is going to benefit you, because at some point you thought something else would benefit you and now it doesn't. Maybe some of you are just giving up on things like dating altogether. Maybe some of you are switching careers because you thought it would get you somewhere, and you realize that you actually have no passion for it. And instead, you're going to find new passions. I feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of feeling emotionally empty right now because you're not in the right state of mind. Because the state of mind you might be in right now, you could be, again, it's like you're looking for, how do I put this? You're looking for excitement when what you really want is mental stimulation. And I see this sometimes with like really intelligent people. They'll be reckless, they'll do some stupid things because the truth is that they're bored and they can't find anything to mentally like keep them entertained. This is like that kid who acts up in class because they're actually in a class that is very, very easy for them. Therefore, they're just gonna, you know, act like a clown because they're not being mentally stimulated. But put them in a very advanced class and suddenly they're like a really great student. That's what I'm seeing. Some of you, you're just in the wrong environment for whatever is going on. If you can't find love, you're in the wrong area, probably because everybody in that area is very dusty compared to you, or they're just not at your level. I'm sure there's great people there, but it's like nobody there is at your level, so you're going to have to find that elsewhere, or somebody new will have to come in and take you away from there, essentially, whatever the case may be. Or you could be just looking in the wrong areas for something here. With the Ace of Wands, there is something about an over concern with physical matters here as well, whether that is you are hitting the gym far too much when really you should be focusing on your mental health, and or you could be focusing on the physical aspects of relationships when really you should be focusing on how your emotional and mental compatibility is with somebody here. So take that as it resonates. And by the gym thing, by working out, I know some people do work out for their mental health. I know I'm one of those people, but I've also met people who work out to avoid the mental health aspect of it. So take that how it resonates. I feel like you will know which one you are and if you fall in that category. And sometimes the line is a little blurred. So let's go ahead and clarify this. So let's clarify this emotional unavailability is what I'm being told this is. Some of you are emotionally unavailable, and that might be the revelation you've been needing to hear. If you've been attracting people this way, it's because you yourself are also this way to some extent. And you will not recognize this until I feel like somebody perfect or somebody very logical will come along. Dating wise or even friendship wise. I've even seen this with friends. Like, some people don't want to have friends because they don't have the emotional availability to have a close emotional bond with a friend. But I feel like this is going to be shown to you. So either it's being revealed here, or maybe this is confirmation for some of you. We have the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's like you're refusing to engage here. You're refusing to have anything to do with certain people, whether it's romantic, platonic, or any other type of way. I do feel this is more social than anything. Let's go ahead and clarify the Queen of Wands reversed. We have the Two of Wands. Some of you are done competing. It's like you don't want to compete anymore with some of these people out here. It's like you accept what you are, you accept what you look like, and you don't want to have to compete, because honestly, if you have to try that hard for attention, then you don't want it, is what I'm hearing. Let's clarify this King of Pentacles. You have Ten of Wands. You're also done working so hard for things that you may not even value that much, is what I'm hearing. I'll come back to this. because this is more about career or your abundance or your stability. It's like, because you don't want to work so much, maybe you're done working like 80 hours a week, so therefore you downsize either your living space, your lifestyle, whatever the case is. It's like you'd rather just spend less and work less, because some of you are a little bit burnt out, or you don't want to be burnt out anymore. Let's clarify the Ace of Wands. Two of Cups. Yeah, like I said, some of you, is this meant to be reversed? Kinda. It's like we don't want it to be reversed, but it is right now. Some of you are focusing far too much on the physical aspects of relationships as opposed to, like, again, the emotional and mental compatibility here. This is especially true for those of you who are looking more for like casual flings. I feel like some of you are actively looking for casual flings because, like I said, you're not emotionally available right now. And then the Queen of Swords. Let's get some clarification on her. We have the Four of Wands. Some of you feel that in order to be responsible, you can't have fun. And let me tell you, I wish I had learned this a lot sooner, like a lot sooner than my mid-30s. You can have fun and still be responsible. You can. Absolutely can. It might mean that you have to drink a little less. It might mean you have to go home a little earlier or dress a little bit more modestly, but you can still have fun and be responsible. Back of the deck, Two of Swords, yeah. Some of you, you're kind of afraid of speaking to yourself. And by that, I mean like doing the inner reflection, doing the inner dialogue here, because some of you are kind of afraid of being judged by a past version of you or a future version of you. Which is interesting because I was actually called to do a reading on messages from your past and future you. I've already done one on messages from future you. I may link that in the description. It was a really fun one, but I may do one for the past as well, because when we don't look at our past, when we don't reflect on our own past, we're bound to repeat patterns. We're bound to repeat it. This is why, subjects like history are so important. And it's a really good way of also seeing just how humanity is. And in this case, yourself. I feel like when you look at your past self, you're able to see the patterns or your cycles or even your own karmic lessons that you can avoid repeating here. Because some of you, you might be in the process, or you might be on the verge of repeating something from your past. And even though, yes, you are very different now because you've aged and because you've learned more, there are still certain things that could repeat themselves, but in different ways. Whether this is in career, romance, with friends, finances, whatever the case may be. Because, yes, you are divinely protected, but it's like that divine protection only works so much. Like at some point, you have to be responsible for where you have not learned something or where you are ignoring certain parts of yourself. I think the biggest thing here for you, pile one, is that it's okay to be gentle with yourself. I feel like you're far too harsh on yourself, because when I ask you to look back at yourself, it's not with a critical lens. It's more with a loving lens. It's like, again, I'm sorry that the example of children keeps coming up. It's like when you look back at pictures of, your children or people that you've known when they were kids, do you hate them for all the things that they did in the past? Of course not. They were younger. You look back at it with love and even humor, because it's like, well, thank goodness you're no longer that way. Thank goodness that, you've grown. I feel like there's something here about treating yourself as if you were your own child from a very loving mother or loving parent's eyes, And maybe for some of you that's difficult because maybe you didn't have that. But I feel like when you do this, when you look back at yourself with all the love that you deserve, that you always deserved, you're going to heal a part of yourself. Again, this is part of how you release things emotionally. This is part of how you release some of your past demons, your past any sort of past emotional baggage that you haven't really overcome here. Because I do see that this emotional unavailability is really just you not tapping into your own emotions and understanding why you feel this way. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I can completely understand why you would want to avoid this. There are times when I just don't feel like looking at the shadowy aspects of myself and healing that in any way, shape, or form. It's difficult. But when we do this, we become better people. It's a necessary I don't want to call it a necessary pain because it's not always painful. Sometimes it's just, it feels messy. But when you release that, you feel so much better. It's like, again, you're already doing the grind at work. You're already going through the pain of having to work long hours or whatever the case may be. If you go to the gym, you're already having to do the pain of, you know, enduring some really I don't know what people do at the gym. Like, I'm assuming lifting weights hurts a little bit, but I don't really lift weights like that. I work out different from people, but it looks painful. I'll just say that it looks like that. You're already going through your own struggle that, you know, you have to go through in order to get some gains. Why not do that emotionally as well? So that's what I'm seeing. Again, with the Two of Wands and the Queen of Wands, some of you are just done competing or done comparing yourselves to others, and good on you. That's a great thing to have. There's no need to compare yourself to anybody unless you want to do it as like a very fun and playful rivalry, which can be healthy, you know, when you have people that you want to measure yourself up to. But even then, you don't want to do it to your detriment. You never want to do it to an unhealthy way. So I feel like you're just done competing with others. I think more specifically when it comes to either social media or romance, because I'm seeing those two subjects here very strongly. It's like you're kind of done with comparing yourself to, you know, prettier people online or people with more aesthetic layouts, more aesthetic accounts, or whatever the case may be. It's like you're gonna do you, and you know somebody out there is going to absolutely love it. So I feel like this is where you are, which is kind of in the earlier days of social media before everything became so aesthetic dominant or aesthetic obsessed. I remember a lot of the friends I had, I loved their natural, like their whatever their aesthetic was, whatever their thing was, I loved it because I knew it was them. You know, it wasn't the prettiest thing, it wasn't the most trendy thing, but I loved what they did. I loved the pictures they had. I loved how they looked. You know, it was because it was very them. It was very authentic to who they were, and I didn't really care. Of course, this was on Tumblr, and I'm not on Tumblr anymore, but you know, sometimes I'll pop onto Instagram and everybody, like every other account may just look the same or every other person looks the same. There's no need for you to compare yourself to anybody. Somebody is going to love everything that you are. And you can also take this romantically, of course. Sure, you don't look like some of the people out there, but someone is absolutely going to fall in love with everything that you are on the inside, because I think some people, like I said, there's a theme of maturity here. Some people are going to mature to understand that what you have to give them is actually worth a lot more than whatever you've got going on for your looks, because looks come and go. Looks can be bought. Personality, not as easily. Not as easily. With the King of Coins and the Ten of Wands, again, in the workspace, you are just done killing yourself over work. You are done. Oh, geez, I hope that doesn't get censored. I don't know if I can say that. But you're done breaking your back at work over whatever you are getting paid. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you're not really, it's like you do all this work and you're still making the same amount. I feel like this is very much quiet quitting, or this is, you know, taking a pay cut just so that you can rest a little more. I know I've done this before where I've stepped down or I've stepped back, and even though I was making, I don't know, a few dollars, like $1 or so less, I was still getting a better quality of life. This is definitely quality of life over whatever money you may need, even though I do feel a lot of you need it. The other way of seeing this, of course, is that you're learning to work smart and not hard. For those of you who cannot take a pay cut right now, your job is getting easier, and oddly enough, that somehow brings in more money. Ace of Wands and Two of Cups. Make sure you are focusing on how much you like somebody as a person, as opposed to what they have to offer you either physically or in terms of more shallow pursuits, let's say. I'm literally seeing somebody who prefers to go out with someone just because they have like a really good Instagram profile as opposed to liking them for who they are. And I say this because I've actually met people like this. I've met people in this day and age who still think like that. I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not trying to judge them either. They're very much allowed to have an aesthetically pleasing partner if that is what they want. But at the same time, don't be surprised if you get an aesthetically pleasing partner who may be just that and not much else. So I don't know who needed to hear that. Maybe some of you are dealing with people like this and you're deciding that you don't want shallow types anymore. You want somebody who sees you for who you are as well. So you could be on either side of that coin. Maybe you were at one point one and now you are the other. With the Queen of Swords and the Four of Wands, like I said, you can be responsible and still have fun. Those can coexist, I promise you. You can be the most logical person, you can be the most logical, sound of mind person and still act the fool up at parties. Don't be afraid to do so. You're more than allowed to do so. I feel like it's healthy to do so. Not just because everybody gets to see that fun side of you, but because you get to let loose. And I feel like there are some people who think you can't be one without the other. And trust me, because I wish I had learned this a lot sooner. I wish I had been more fun when I was younger. But of course I wasn't doing anything. I was just in such an anxious energy. I was in such a depressive energy. I felt like I couldn't be myself. But now that I am, let me impart that wisdom onto you. So, with that said, let's go ahead and start channeling your petals here. The way I channel, the way I do petal readings, I take, I used to I still watercolor now actually. I've gotten back into it. But I take some watercolor paper that I've done and I painted this. I didn't have this intention when I first started watercoloring, by the way. I was just kind of guided to do this. I'll take petals and I put them on here. And this always means something different. So if you see this in another pile, in another reading, and I'm reading it differently, like don't worry about it. I'm literally just purely channeling with the help of my beautiful tools. And these petals were given to me by my sister, Michelle. So Michelle, if you're watching this, thank you. Yeah, a lot of you, you're very, very afraid of tapping into what you are feeling or looking at your subconscious and going deeper here because like my eyes want to not look at this for whatever reason. Not that I need to channel, but there's like a fear here of what you may see, of what you may encounter when you go deep. And Spirit and your guides are asking you not to be afraid because regardless of whether you look there or not, it's going to be there with you. So might as well face it head first. There's something here about embracing light that keeps coming through. I'm seeing a particular woman here. I don't know who she is. She looks like a Grecian goddess. She's got like red hair and it's all up. I'm not sure who this is. So maybe some of you are working or dealing with a Grecian goddess. It could be Aphrodite. It could be Athena. No, this isn't Athena. Athena would have an owl. Okay, Aphrodite, Hera, or Artemis is what I'm hearing. She's very feminine. Like she looks very feminine. Interesting. But some of you, if you feel the need to work with specific angels or guides, don't be afraid to allow them to guide you here because I feel like for some of you, you may fear like this deep-seated I don't want to call it a loneliness, but I feel like some of you feel like you don't know what you're doing or that you may not know how to go about this or that you'll do it wrong and somehow that's going to mess things up. You can't do anything wrong here. It's kind of like, I'm going to use the analogy of shoveling snow. You can't really shovel it wrong, but you can't, I mean, there are more effective ways of doing it versus not doing it. But as long as you start, even if it's with a little spoon and taking the snow off of the pavement, you know, making your path here, you're going to get there. So don't worry about how you get there. Don't worry about how, like, just start doing it. And day by day, it will get better. Day by day, it will be, you know, you'll be more effective in doing whatever it is that you need to do here. And as to what you actually need to do, start by breathing, start by meditating, start with listening to not subliminals, well, maybe some subliminals. I don't always encourage them because not all of them are, you know, the best, but definitely binaural beats. Start by listening to meditation music, whatever hertz you can, you know, find the hertz for whatever your specific situation is. If it's solar plexus, you can look for that. If it's the third eye, I'm hearing a lot of you to start with the third and the crown because this is where you are able to dig deep within the subconscious. And for some of you, it's also the root. Root is where you are grounded enough to focus on something. Root and sacral are the focusing binaural beats. So just look it up. There's plenty of free videos on YouTube that you can use this and just listen to it, you know, starting 15, 30 minutes a day and then up to an hour, or maybe have it in the background. I love to have it in the background, but don't be afraid to take the first steps here. There is no wrong or right way. And if you ever do go a wrong way about this, somebody will come through to guide you, whether it's again through divine intervention in the form of your spirit guides or maybe the vision of a goddess. I keep seeing this goddess. She has red hair. She looks Grecian. She has it up. I want to say it's either Hera or Aphrodite, and I wish I knew who she was. So maybe some of you work with her. Definitely both goddesses of love, though. One more marriage and one more, you know, the fun, beautiful aspect of love. Not saying that marriage can't be this, but, you know, I feel like some of you could be deciding whether you want to be in a committed partnership or if you just want to live your life, you know, definitely still allowing romance in, but not really settling down. And that's okay. I feel like if you don't want to settle down because you know you're just like a lover boy, lover girl energy forever, then you can very much do that. There is no wrong way of pursuing your romantic life as long as you are honest to yourself and everybody else around you. I feel like some of you have certain morals that maybe were really put in place by society more than yourself here. Some of you have a lot of either energetic or psychic baggage, and I'm not sure why that is. Either you are far too hard on yourself, on your intuition. Like some of you feel that you're not good enough because you don't get intuitive hints like everybody else. Maybe you're even watching this and wondering how I do it. Trust me, I don't know how I do it either. Some days I just show up and have fun with it, and other days I wonder why the universe has failed me because I feel like I've done something wrong. And yet here I am on YouTube helping lots of people out, so I must be doing something right, you know? But there's something here about not feeling bad because you haven't acquired the type of intuitive knowledge that you want, or that you haven't reached that level of intuitive like, again, the intuition, the third eye is a muscle. The more you use it, if you use it every day, you'll get better and better at this. And sometimes we go through periods where we're not as intuitive as others, you know? Like I said, things are cyclical. Right now, I'm at my most intuitive because it is Capricorn season. It is the winter season. My intuition loves this time of year. But during other times of the year, it doesn't help me as much. During those times of the year, I'm a little bit more human, and I'm okay with that, you know, because I was born human after all. And maybe some of you need to accept this as well. We're born human because we're meant to have a human experience. We're not always meant to know every little thing that is meant to happen to us, or even how to navigate it. It's like we're meant to learn through doing. And I think when we accept that, it will be so much better. I'm also hearing that you're a very beautiful soul, pile one. Don't ever forget that. Also, go to the ocean. Go to the water, go to the ocean. There's something there for you. There is something there for you. If you can, make it a point to go there, because I feel like you're going to find something beautiful there. But this is what I have, pile one. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose the soapstone owl, then we have a reading here for you about what is about to be revealed to you. We're going to see what is coming up for you, whether this is either in your life or any messages that the universe may have for you. So we're going to see what is about to be revealed. It could even be within this reading or outside of this reading, depending on what it is. So we're going to start with the oracles you chose. We have not mystery. So definitely something that has been a mystery to you for some time. Maybe you've been trying to solve this mystery. Maybe this is something that you've been wanting answered. So I feel like if you have questions, or maybe whatever question you had in mind, you're wondering if it's going to be revealed, I feel like it will be. You got 2 alchemy cards. We have winter. So the winter season could be important here, or something about an ending, or even a renewal. Sometimes I do see winter as like a hibernation. Like if something is currently at a standstill or on a pause, this could be something about that. We also have calcification. Interesting. I will read from the book for that, but let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards before we move on, because I like to read everything towards the end. So from the Egyptian gods deck, for my pile 2, we have Anubis transformation. Something is definitely changing here. Yeah. There's something changing here. Anubis is also one of the gods of death here. I mean, Egyptians had many gods of death, but I feel like there's something about an ending. I will read more specifically, because I want to say he was the god of mummification. Like I said, something is like at a standstill right now, because I feel like it's in progress. Like something, it's uploading, it's in progress, it's hibernating, it's in the works. There's something going on. Wow. As soon as I started saying that, like my left ear started ringing. I heard like a little bump somewhere in my room. There could have been a branch falling on the roof, but still, something is calcifying here. And I want to say that's similar to solidifying. I will read from the book for that. But let's get more cards. We have the kiss. Uh-oh. Okay, so for some of you, this could be romantic. That's not going to be everybody. But for some of you, this is definitely to do with Well, with kiss, it doesn't necessarily just have to be romantic. It could also be like in a relationship with anybody, so a friendship or somebody who you admire. We could put it that way as well. Maybe for some of you, we're dealing with somebody that you admire or that admires you. I'm thinking also of a celebrity. Maybe some of you want to go see a celebrity or work with a celebrity. For those of you who are, I'm hearing concert tickets for some of you. So maybe you're wondering if that is at play here, or if you're going to get like some sort of VIP treatment, or if you're going to get to work with somebody that you are wanting to work. Let's go ahead and get more. Because yeah, with kiss, I'm getting admiration. So you can take that as romantically, platonically, or as fangirly, fanboy-ish, as you like. We have jubilation, Sagittarius emotion. Well, jubilation or restlessness. A dolphin jumps above the waves. A feeling of jubilation can lift you up. There can be exhilaration as you look to move forward. However, a need for movement can at times leave you feeling restless. Try to manage your agitation and question why you feel blocked from progress. I'm also hearing manage your expectations here. So there is something rather wonderful here. I'm going to put this over here with the kiss because I feel like whatever this is, it's very fun. And somebody here could be a Sagittarius, or Sagittarius placements could be important here. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. And I know there's a lot of celebrities out there who are Sagittarius. Maybe you really are dealing with a celebrity. But regardless, let's go ahead and get the glyph card. We got 2. We have abundance, coin, and protection, Shein. So your money's protected. Your money is protected, but this is also giving you just a little bit of a heads up to protect your money. Don't spend on something that looks a little shady or looks a little too good to be true, of course, here. Take that as it resonates. But for some of you, your abundance is protected. If you feel the need to miss out of work for whatever reason, your money is still protected. Like, no one's going to take anything from you. I don't know who needed to hear that. Those seem like very specific messages. One last card from the Destiny Oracle. Relaxation. And back of the deck, healing chaos. Like I said, something is in the works, and I feel like this is chaotic healing. But I don't know if it's you or whatever the situation is here. I feel like it's more likely the situation than anything. So let's go ahead and read for these cards, specifically calcification, because like I said, something is in the works here. So it may seem like something is at an end, but the truth is that something is about to it's in the works. So we have heat, fire, and desire. Calcinatio is the great alchemical operation of fire. It occurs when there is enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature of that which is solid or fixed. How does calcinatio begin? With a robust flame. On a psychic level, this stage may be an uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed. It wants something big to change, to be brought to the light and purified. Perhaps a flawed ideology, institution, or outlook. Frustration and anger are wondrous change makers if their heat is channeled with space, time, and awareness. The transformation that occurs from calcification is rarely harmonious. It requires commitment and willingness to sit through the discomfort. As old patterns fall into the ashes, the flame initiates sacred change, and eventually the phoenix rises. Wow. Okay. Some of you could benefit from candle gazing, I think, because this is a little flame. And I love to do that too as well. I don't think I've ever done that in this reading, but I like to do it for myself. Like, I'll just be sitting, I don't know, in my living room and just looking at a candle that I have lit, or even in meditation. I know some meditative practices, they have you lower your gaze to a candle and just focus on that to keep your mind still, or even if you see anything or if you channel anything that comes through. So some of you could be called to do that. I feel like I'm being called to do that, even though I'm actually doing a rose petal reading at the end of this. So stick around. But there is a mystery here. Some of you, I do feel, for the majority of you, this is very romantic. If not romantic, it has something to do with a friend or somebody that, like I said, like a celebrity. Like maybe you're wondering if you're going to collaborate with somebody that you really admire or look forward to, and in a non-romantic way. So let's go ahead and tap into that. So if this is not romantic, then by all means, you can select another pile. I'm going to have plenty here. But I do feel for a lot of you, you're asking yourself whether something is over or not, whether there is something here. Because with calcification, I feel like it said, there is a repressed emotion here. Specifically, a lot of you are wondering if you have like a secret admirer, or if somebody specifically on your mind is a secret admirer here. Because I feel like you've been getting the signals. You've been getting, maybe the conversation has even been steered that way. Maybe you're hearing a little bit too much from them and you're kind of tired. So you're wondering if they're going to make a move. The kiss, I mean, there could be a secret kiss, a surprise kiss here. Maybe I don't want to ruin that for anybody. But regardless, I do feel like there's like either a confession or some sort of act of like a romantic gesture that is going to come through here that is going to pretty much reveal how somebody has been feeling towards you or how somebody has been wanting to tell you something. Because with transformation, I feel like this could be somebody that you already know, but there were never really any feelings there, or there was never anything there to begin with, or maybe you thought there was and there wasn't, or maybe somebody here was in a relationship and now they're not. Something along those lines. Because Anubis is like that which has been, it's like it's been mummified, so you thought it was over, but like the way I see, at least if we're trying to follow certain cycles of death, especially in Egyptian mythology, death is never the end. Death is just the beginning of another journey. So I feel like there's definitely been a transformation here. I'm being called to read from the book for Anubis now, just so that I don't misinterpret his meaning or the card. He is the protector of tombs, the embalmer of the dead, who accompanies souls into the afterlife to weigh their hearts and ferry them from the earthly world into the presence of Osiris. Anubis is portrayed as a jackal-headed man. He symbolizes the renewal of life itself, rebirth and regeneration. You are about to end a cycle, or you are already experiencing a new one. Probable disappointments, collapse of affection, losses. Do not worry, Anubis will accompany you and guide you through the transformation of elements. Nothing will return to the way it was before. Inevitably, everything is transformed, but all you can do is create a new life in a new form. I love that so much because I feel like for a lot of you, you've ended something. Like I said, I feel like somebody here was previously either in a connection or doing something else, or whatever the reasons are. Something was in the works this whole time, or maybe something is currently in the works and it's like, I didn't realize that this was going to happen. Or maybe some of you had given up on somebody and now it turns out that they actually do want something. Take that as it resonates. I feel like this is somebody you never gave a chance before, hence why it's a mystery. Because if it was an ex, then it wouldn't surprise you that they want to get back together. But because I feel like this isn't somebody, or maybe it was like a missed opportunity or something just couldn't work out, I feel like something is coming to the light here. So either it's the fact that they do want something or something about this person. With jubilation and restlessness, I feel like it's both parts. Like you're excited about this, but it may also leave you a little restless. It's kind of like when you are giddy with excitement over something. I feel like this is why you kind of have to curb your expectations, curb your enthusiasm, if you will. I feel like somebody here, like it's going to be a fun time, but at the same time, like I think neither of you know where this is going. With protection and money, if for whatever reason I'm hearing protect your money, like don't let this person make you pay for things. I know that's very direct, but I mean, I'm hearing that. Also, if you feel the need to spend more money to be with this person, don't. This is like, don't go out of your way to buy new clothing. Don't go out of your way to spend more money on like beauty services or anything, unless it's already something you're going to do. Like if it's your routine, barber or hairstylist appointment, that's something else. But it's like, don't feel the need to upgrade, because there's something here about, again, curbing your expectations about this situation or person, or maybe even just going like taking small steps at a time. With relaxation, this is meant to bring some sort of relaxation into this otherwise healing chaos. So this could be somebody who's going to pop into your life while you are still healing, while you are going through something. Maybe they're going through something. What's underneath that? Enlightenment. Yeah, it's meant to enlighten you. So I feel like, yes, there is somebody here who kind of has a thing for you, but I feel like it's not like, take it one day at a time. Take it step by step, because I feel like there is romance in the air, and maybe this has been in the works for some time. Maybe you already kind of knew this would happen, but, and I mean, not to kill your joy or anything here, pile two, but I feel like there's something about this particular situation that it's meant to be handled delicately, or it's meant to ground you in reality for sure, especially with relaxation. They could also help your abundance in some way, but mostly do protect your finances here. Don't combine finances, I guess is the best way to say that, because you never know whether it's intentional or not. Sometimes, I don't know why our finances are, for some of you this must be important. I don't know why the finances are here. Maybe people have used you for money in the past, or you've spent a little bit too much on things, in relationships before. I know I have. Yeah, there's something along those lines. So with that said, if you feel this is you, if this sounds like your situation, I feel like there's something here about allowing things to change as well. I feel like it's kind of like giving the benefit of a doubt, not just for yourself, but for your person as well. I think mostly for yourself, though. It's like you've changed a lot since the last time you had anything to do with this person, or since the last time that. I honestly feel like this is not somebody from your past, though. If it is, you never gave them a chance. So, from the moment that you met each other when you were friends or colleagues or acquaintances, whatever the case may be, you've changed since then. I feel like this is somebody that you may have known for some time, either a few months to a few years. And it's like you've changed enough to the point where you feel like you can actually take this to a new level, take this somewhere else. So that said, I'm very apprehensive in this pile, actually. Like, at first, I got a little bit excited. It's like, is this happening? Is this not happening? So I feel like you're both, I feel like this is the both of you. You're both kind of treading on this a little lightly because you're kind of afraid here. Maybe somebody here has heard about the other's finances, and this is why, like, things are a little weird here. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot because I truly want to know what is going on here. If this is a person that is about to make some sort of revelation, maybe give you some sort of kiss metaphorically or not so metaphorically, depending on whether you want this person or not. This will be somebody that you've been wanting, though. This will be somebody that you've been wondering about, because I don't think they would pop up here if they were somebody unwanted. Unless, of course, it's a secret admirer. For some of you, this could be a secret admirer. But we'll ask that in the tarot. This is what I love about the tarot. And this is what I love about leaving certain readings a little bit more open, because you never know when romance is about to pop up in these. So, we're going to ask a few questions. This one I do have to ask questions, so let me sit. The previous one, I had to just lay them out and kind of read the story that was there. Here, we're asking questions. So, who is this person? This is somebody you know, by the way. This is somebody you're aware of, at least. So who is this person? We have the Three of Cups. Somebody who's already your friend. Somebody who's already in your social circle. You already have fun with them. You definitely have very nice chats with this person. You already know. You consider them a friend. And because of that, I think that's another reason you're kind of treading a little lightly here. It's like you don't want to ruin the friendship, or you don't want other people to know as well. Like, maybe you don't want your friends to know because you kind of want this to just be the both of you right now. Which is fair. I feel like, people don't need to know everything about your business, even if they are your friends, until you're ready to release that. Maybe you're starting this as like, again, if you're taking it step by step, you might just decide to hang out on your own as a kind of date. And maybe you're going to hang out on your own for a little bit longer. You just do things by yourselves before you tell anybody else about this. And that's fair. You are owed privacy. Okay, so how do they view you? What do they like about you? Justice. You're a very fair person. I also feel like if you work in the legal field, you could help them out with something, but I'm not seeing that as much as you are just a very fair person. They also love your sense of justice. They love how you stand up for them. I feel like you've stood up for them a few times. And maybe they've seen you stand up for a lot of people. They love your logic. You're a very intelligent person. I feel like this would easily be like the King or Queen of Swords as well, but with justice, it's like you encompass all of that. It's like they love your sound mind, and I feel like they have a lot of respect for you as well. Yeah, so this is what they like about you. Why now? What changed? Why now is what I'm hearing. What changed either in them or in you? So Nine of Pentacles. They have money now. Maybe that's why the money was coming through here. I feel like for a lot of you, you know how some people say like, oh, I need to focus on my career and finances. And you feel like that's just an excuse for them to blow you off. I feel like this person meant it. This person, they have some sort of, I don't know if this is how they were brought up, or maybe they grew up dirt poor and they just have like some weird, like their sense of self-worth is tied to their finances somehow. So, and we're not here to judge them for it. We're not saying that's wrong or right. That's just how they currently are. That's how they view things. I feel like, especially if they got like a promotion and they feel really great about it, this boosted their ego and now they feel like they can come forward. Or maybe they, I feel like they literally just want to give you what you deserve because they see who you are. They see that you are quite literally somebody expensive, not just because you have high worth, but because you are worth being able to give all this stuff to. Because the Nine of Coins is like an independence here. They see you as like, they want to spoil you essentially. So I feel like now they feel comfortable enough. If this isn't to do with finances, it could just be them being comfortable with themselves, because Pentacles coin energy is very comforting. It's earth energy. It's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and all three of those signs, they enjoy their comforts. They're very creature comforts. I know this as a Taurus myself. So Also, their luxury. I feel like this wouldn't be somebody who would be, they would not be content just taking you out to like some fast food restaurant for like a cute little date. No, they want to take you out somewhere nice. It's like they want to be able to afford the nice restaurant. So that's why they would never date you before. Or they want to be able to send you flowers for, you know, your big occasions here. It's that kind of energy. Even if they don't do that, there's something about their finances tied to their ego. Just understand that. How are they seeing my pile 2 differently though? This could also, I mean, and not all, but this could also be them understanding that you have come into money pile 2. Not that they want to use you for it, but somehow the money you have is making you look better. Like I said, some of you, you're like actually spending more on your skincare, on your beauty regimen, or yeah, your beauty routine. How are they seeing my pile 2 differently? The star, you're glowing. You are absolutely glowing, and they notice it. It's just like, it's something that they can't put their like, they can't bring words to how you're glowing differently. I think if they were to be more spiritual, and if they were to see this, it's quite literally that your aura is shining brighter. You're doing the shadow work, you're doing the healing. You have healed, therefore you shine brighter. There's just something about you. They are recognizing something in you that they hadn't recognized before. It's literally the stars in their eyes. Like, I feel like this is the only way to describe it. That's how they would put it. That's how, like, they themselves don't know, but they know that there's something else here. What are their next steps towards pile 2, or anything else that needs to be revealed? Okay, let's get 2 cards. Let's get 2 more cards. I feel like those 2 deserve their own cards. So next steps. 3 of Wands. They're making plans. They're making plans. Can I get clarification on that? Because 3 of Wands is just plans. It's not carrying forward. Death. Oh my god. What do they need to end? They need to end something. Or they need to stop some BS that they've got going on. This could be another party. This could be, if they have a roster, they might have to put an end to that. Or they might just have to change. It's like they kind of want you... If they feel that you still view them the old way, they want to make you stop seeing them that way, and they don't know how. That makes a lot of sense. Let's get... Yeah, it's like they don't want you to come into this thinking of them the way you used to, or thinking of them as just a friend. Especially those of you who have told this person that you see them as a sibling. They don't want you to look at them that way. You know, I feel like some of you have said them. It's like, oh yeah, I love you like a brother. I love you like a sister. Like, no, they don't want you to see them that way. They don't. Okay, let's get one more card. Anything else that needs to be revealed here? 8 of Cups. Is this meant to be reversed? I didn't mean to take reversals, but I feel like this one has to be reversed. They're acknowledging their feelings. I think more than anything, even if this goes nowhere else, they are acknowledging their feelings here, that they have something for you, that they like you, that they would like to have something with you. Even if it's just something physical, even if it's just physical intimacy, they're at the very least acknowledging that they have the hots for you, pile 2. Because I feel this person's energy very conflicted, but also that there's been like a... Either like they're recognizing an opportunity, or somebody has like hit their head pretty hard. Like somebody knocked some sense into them. I don't know how or why, but like it's like they're waking up and realizing, you know what? Pile 2 looks pretty bad. And by bad, I mean hot. Oh, geez, this person might be Gen Z if I said that. I don't usually use the word bad to mean hot here, or sexy, attractive, whatever the case may be. But I'm hearing them say, pile 2 looks pretty bad. So, and bad in a good way. I don't say it that way. This person might be younger, or maybe you're also this age. Maybe you're both Gen Z or closer to that age. I'm 34, about to be 35, so the slang it evades me sometimes. Okay, let's get you. Let's get your cards here, as well as clarifiers. So pile 2. Let me take a deep breath. Like I said, curb your expectations. Because I feel like they're still conflicted. With this death card, it might mean that they decide to chicken out at the last minute. But this person has feelings for you. So how do you view this person right now? The Chariot. The Chariot reversed. I feel like you understood that there would be something here. But reversed, it's like they probably don't want this. So I feel like, again, you've put the brakes on this. You've parked this car. You're just like, whatever. It's the Winter card. Things are in hibernation. Maybe in the previous In previous times, you would have pursued this person, or an old version of you would have pursued this person, but I'm being told, no, don't pursue. This person has to pursue. It's part of their ego thing to pursue. It's part of their journey to pursue. So you might want to, even after hearing this reading, you might feel like, oh, maybe I should like give them a hint. No, don't. Let them come through. Let them come through, pile 2. I'm getting a little animated here. Okay. So that's how you view them. How have you changed? What have you actually been doing that is attracting this person? And I say this because if this is a habit you're doing, you could use this same habit to attract other people if this ends up not being somebody that you end up being with, because it's 50-50 right now for some of you. So what have you actually been doing that's been attracting them? Oh, the King of Wands. You've been stepping into your power. And not just in a performative way, but like in a true way. It's like when you have true power, you don't have to go around saying that you're in charge. You don't have to go around trying to control people. You don't have to do any of that. When you're actually in control of your own life, when you actually have true control, what you do is you command power. Like it comes to you naturally. People look to you for directions very naturally. So it's kind of like you've let go of this shallow version, or this more, it's like why am I hearing this? Like a weak version of what you think power and control is. And you've taken on what control and power truly are, which is allowing things to play out as they need to be and being the director of where things need to go. So it's kind of like you've stepped into your true power, as to where before, I'm not saying that you weren't, or maybe it was a different expression of power. I also feel like they've learned to respect you in a new way. Like they're seeing you differently. They're taking you seriously is what I'm hearing as well. So let's go ahead and get, the next card is going to be how to handle this. Let's just get advice on how to handle this person. Though I am seeing right away not to pursue. Let them pursue. Ace of Wands. I'm saying don't pursue, and we have the Ace of Wands, which is definitely a card of go after this, but I feel like you have to see the signs first. If this is a yes, essentially. So if they ask you out, it's essentially say yes just to try it out, just to dip your toes in the water, if you will. Like I feel such a hesitation and such apprehension here. It's a yes, but move slowly. Even though the Ace of Wands seems to be like, yes, get into this very quickly. That's not what it's actually saying. Let's get another card. Another way of going about this, handling this. We have the Nine of Wands. Let down your barriers. Again, with that relaxation card that came out in the oracles, I feel like you need to relax a little bit. Not because, and I don't think it's this person either. I think it's the whole thought of this person approaching you. It's like, oh crap, I never thought it happened. Now that it's here, I don't know what's going on. Like I feel the anxiety on your side, pile 2. And I know what and I already hear what you're thinking. It's like, well, they've said that if you start getting anxious around a person, it's probably not meant to be. I think you're overthinking a little bit, pile 2. I think, and I'm saying this as an overthinker myself, I think you're overthinking. Also, this person really just gets you excited. I feel like this person gets you pumped and amped. You might be the kind of people who have to go do something physical on your first date to just release a lot of your energy. The combined energies you have together. So I feel like if it is a date you go on, it might be something where, maybe something athletic, maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking of going for a hike, but also I'm seeing golf or mini golf for some of you, interestingly enough. Some sort of sport, if you both do a sport. Going for a walk for sure. Like I said, you both have a lot of energy, and I feel like, because I doubt you'll get intimate on the first date or so. So I feel like you're going to end up doing something else here. Unless, of course, that's your thing. I mean, I'm not suggesting it, but if you already know who you are and you know who this person is, that might be something here. Because I feel like you have a lot of energy combined when you get together. I mean, look at all this Wands energy. And you know what, pile 2? I'll be honest, I think you only want this person physically and not much else. Because I feel like this person, they're trying to see, they see the beauty in you. They see the great things about you. But you may only want this person physically. And you could also switch these around. Maybe it's this person who wants you more physically. But I'll be honest, pile 2, I don't think so. I think this person is trying to treat you in a very different way. And you would just see them as like an F-boy or F-girl, whatever the case may be. Let's get more cards. One more card on how to handle this. 10 of Wands. Interesting. Lots of Wands. You know what Wands is, right, pile 2? Wands is just basically, It's a phallic symbol. So I'll have you, even if there's no men involved here, even if you're both women, this is still very much, you know. Yeah, I feel like you know what this is, and I don't like having to say this. This piece of advice I'm getting is very weird, but this is especially true if you're a woman. Treat them with the same distance as if they were an F-boy, and not because they are, and not because they deserve that, but because you need to guard your heart, because this person really has to show up for you. And I know that seems a little, I don't like that piece of advice, but that's what I'm hearing. Why is this? Why am I getting this advice from my pile too? I'm hearing you'll understand that. So maybe this is something more specific for you. I feel like you have to have some sort of detachment towards this person, because like I said, you're still healing. That healing chaos card, where is it? I need to see it. This healing chaos, you're still healing from something and you're not aware of it. So you might want to go on a few dates with this person, but I don't think it's meant to turn into a relationship, and I don't think it's meant to go further than a few fun dates until you know you're ready. Until you know you're ready. Back of the deck. Yeah, strength. You're getting over something here. You are getting over a situation. Doesn't matter how long ago this situation was. I feel like you're meant to have fun, because another way to take the Wands energy is to have fun with this person. Like, yeah, maybe keep it physical. Maybe keep it very fun. Keep it casual. What's underneath the strength card? Six of Pentacles. Make sure that you are being, like, it's like, let them show all the signs that they are, that they are ready to give you something, that they are ready to show, like, let them give you the signs that they want a relationship with you, a committed, long-lasting relationship, and that they have what it takes to create something stable here. Because I feel like you need some sort of level of detachment. I feel like a lot of you don't want your heart broken. And that's okay. I feel like that's another revelation for you, pile 2, is that, and I kind of told this to pile 1, so if you're coming from that, that's okay. You're a little bit emotionally unavailable, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun. You're a little bit emotionally unavailable, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out with somebody to see where things are, or to see if this person has anything better to offer you. And maybe you don't like that and you don't have to take that advice, but for a lot of you, I feel like you will give in to this person, because there is some sort of history here. With the Chariot reversed, it's like, I feel like you pursued this person at one point in your life, or you had suggested, maybe, I don't know, maybe you have some sort of history that isn't quite a relationship, but almost sort of. This is definitely like a situationship kind of energy. So if they're coming back around, make sure they are doing all the work. Make sure they're doing all the work, because I feel like you've already done the work for them, or you've already done something here. I don't like giving that advice, but that's what I'm hearing that you need to do here. So I'm just letting you know, this is not Stephanie telling you to do this. Me, personally, I don't know. I don't know what I would tell you. I guess you're not meant to hear that. But I feel like for a lot of you, you're keeping a distance, but still having fun, because you're meant to. You're meant to have fun. You deserve people treating you out. You deserve to have fun with somebody. You deserve to see what other kinds of people there are. I feel like it's going to be a great time. Not only that, but this person may chicken out at the last moment. I feel like, let's get more cards. I feel like I'm keeping the strength card there. So, because we have the Three of Wands here and Death, I feel like this person would actually chicken out if you weren't willing to have fun, honestly. I keep saying fun, but you can replace that word with literally anything else. Can we get more cards to reveal what's going on here? The revelation is somebody wants to approach you. And the other revelation is like, you may not actually be emotionally available for this person now that you want them. Or now that they are, well, now that they want you. Now that they want you, or now that they are showing up here. Yeah, we have the Lovers. I keep hearing this has been in the works for some time. We have the Ace of Swords, and you're both seeing this so differently. Nine of Swords. You're both worried about this, but in different ways. And Three of Pentacles. But regardless, I feel like you will pursue this, or they might pursue this, even if for practical reasons. Back of the deck, the Hermit. Because you're kind of tired of this Hermit energy. I feel like you're coming out of a hibernation. Yeah, Page of Wands. So much Wands energy. God dang. Honestly, pile 2, if you just want to hook up with this person, I feel like that's fine. Just keep your emotional distance and make sure it's consensual. Let's go ahead and move on. But yeah, you're about to get a romantic... somebody's about to approach you here. Somebody you already know. and somebody that you may have even wanted for some time, but ironically enough, you're in a weird space now. So we're going to do the rose petal reading. And the way I do rose petal readings, I use one of my watercolors, and this means different things in different piles. So if you're coming from a different pile and you see that I'm reading it differently, don't worry about that. But I'm using rose petals from my sister Michelle, who gathered them and dried them. So thank you, Michelle. These are just channeled messages that you're meant to hear. This may or may not have anything to do with the reading we just did, so we'll see. Your life has become a little bit unbalanced right now. I feel like, especially if a lot of what the tarot was saying kind of doesn't make sense to you, I feel like your life has been a little bit unbalanced right now. So it's like you're meant to indulge in something here, and I feel like that's okay. That said, make sure you're protected. I'm now seeing that protection card in the oracles very differently. Make sure you are protected, because let's look at that card before we move on. Where is she? Yeah, that kind of looks like a contraceptive device. Several contraceptive devices, actually. I forget what they're called, but you will know. Look at it and you will know, because it's a circle. Yeah. So make sure you're using protection, because I feel like whoever this is, I do feel like they're meant to be more physical should you want to engage in that. That said, just know this person is an option. You don't have to. But at some point, regardless of whether it's with this person or anybody else or with nobody at all, I feel like you're going to have to come to the revelation, to the realization that there's something about you being far too much in either your masculine or feminine energy. Your energies are not balanced. You've been imbalanced for some time. And I feel like this is why this particular connection, situation, or revelation even is just a little triggering, because I feel like you haven't realized exactly how far off you've gone or veered or something here, because I feel like a lot of you, maybe you've even been neglecting your own intuition regarding certain things, or maybe the universe is sending you somebody to remind you of exactly who you are, because I'm not seeing or hearing or feeling any animosity from this person. Nobody is allowed to give you any of that anymore, is what I'm hearing. If people are going to show up for you, they're going to show up right, because this is what spirit is intending to happen. Not only that, but you've set that intention. You said it a long time ago. So I do feel like you will be divinely protected. Yes. I'm seeing you're going to get a lot of suitors, actually. This person is just one of many. In fact, this could be several people still thinking this way. Like, you may be thinking of one person, but there's actually like multiple people thinking this way as well, wanting to shoot their shot with you, wanting to line up for you even, which is very interesting. Some of you have a lot more admirers than you recognize, and you don't recognize many to begin with. So yeah, there's a heaviness to your energy, and I feel it in the heart. So I highly recommend that you bring light to the heart, or maybe look up some heart healing frequencies, or anything to really just let go of whatever. There's something holding you back. You are healing from a heartbreak. You're healing from somebody who you put trust in and that trust failed you, or you felt that you couldn't trust them. And I don't think it's this person coming back around. If they do, you're clearly not going to take a chance on them, because I see you feeling disgusted by somebody here. The person in the tarot was not the same person. They could be similar, or maybe they are friends, or maybe they just remind you of them. But there's a heaviness here, and I feel it so much in the heart. I would sit with your heart for a moment and just allow it to breathe. Yeah, I would allow it to breathe. Take a deep breath in and exhale it out. Because as I tap into this energy, there's a wound there that maybe you're not acknowledging, or a wound there that I feel like you have done some healing on it. Some of you have done healing on it. I am trying to give you confirmation, if you've worked on this, that it's been healed. But I feel like this particular situation, whoever's coming through, whoever's about to come through next, might reopen that wound, or it might trigger you to the point where you're kind of wondering why you're reacting in a way that you thought you wouldn't react. Sometimes we don't know ourselves until we are faced with with a situation. And I feel like this might be one of those instances. Like maybe this person asks you out and you get mad for no reason. Like they didn't do anything except ask you out. And you might just start acting irrationally mad or annoyed or frustrated. And it may not even be a frustration meant at this person. It could be meant at a different person, maybe at yourself even. But I feel like there is something here about being gentle with this person, because I don't think they did anything. Unless it was this person from your past, in which case, like I said, I don't think you're going to take a chance on them. I feel like you've healed enough to know better than to take a chance on them. No matter how good and pure their intentions were. Because if that's the case, then you are just meant to be a karmic lesson to them to not ever treat anybody the way they've treated you. Yeah, I'm seeing two very different people. One person is the person who hurt you from your past. Maybe they're one of the people coming back around. And I see you having nothing to do with it. I see you telling them off. I see you closing the door on that and telling them that it's far too late. Doesn't matter how harshly or nicely you tell them. I feel like you're going to do it regardless. Because it wasn't fair how they treated you. And you're just going to have to be a hard lesson for them. But then I see somebody else, again, similar to them in some way. The biggest similarity being that they want a chance with you. And I see you potentially being mean to this person, or like judging them unfairly, prejudging them unfairly. Like you're making assumptions about them because you feel like everybody out here is just going to do the same thing that this one person did to you, that this one other person did to you. And that's not fair to them because they haven't had a chance with you. They haven't had a chance to prove who they are to you, to show you who they are. And I don't care if it's their twin. I don't care if it's their freaking fraternal or whatever twin. I don't care if they shared the womb. This person could still be very different. It'd be funny if some of you are actually dealing with twins though. Pile 2. My heart goes out to you. I feel like my advice for you, and Spirit's advice for you as well, is to work on the heart, because there are still some wounds there. And you don't want anybody else coming through, whether it's, even if it's yourself, to have to deal with these tender wounds. It's like there's a bruise there. Like your heart may not be broken, but it's bruised. And, you know, just with any bruise, apply ice, apply ointment, whatever it is that you need. It will heal. It will heal. And something beautiful will come through. But this is where I leave it, Pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, Pile 3. If you chose the Lemurian quartz, then we have a reading here for you about what is going to be revealed to you. We're going to see what the next revelation is, any secrets, anything that is coming out of the dark, or any sort of clarification that you may need, or maybe even reassurance for some of you. So we're going to look at the cards you chose, and then we're going to look at the oracles, and the tarot will give us a little bit more of a in-depth reading, and then we're going to go into a petal reading just to channel any advice. So we have Luihan, Devotion. At least I hope that's how you pronounce her name. Luihan. I was having so much fun just pronouncing her name. She's Vietnamese. And I want to say she is a very feminist goddess. I want to say she is a goddess of women, because I was looking her up just out of curiosity. We also have Separation. Interesting that we have two very, I guess they sort of feel like different cards, where we have Devotion and Separation. They do seem opposites, but we'll go ahead and look at the rest of the oracles to see what this is about. So let's go ahead and get more cards. This could be clarification about a separation, especially one that either you or somebody else could have been very devoted to. We have the Flame. Interesting how the colors are very similar. Lots of black and white, but also this orangey yellow color here. For my Pile 3, what else do we have going on? We have Horseshoe, Fortune. A lot of good luck has been happening for you, or some good luck will come through. I'm being told to get another one. We have Feather, Lightness. Interesting that we have 13 and 23. So something about 10, the number 10 could be important, whether it's been 10 months, 10 years, or something along those lines. Let's go ahead and get more cards for my Pile 3. The Flame kind of makes me think of how the saying old flame, which is like an old lover or somebody that you used to have a connection with. We have Mars, assertiveness. Runners race, excuse me, pile 3. Runners race across the field. Make the earth shake under your feet as you run for your goals. Move forward with power and energy. Get fired up. Find your motivation and make progress assertively. It's time to take action. As I was trying to read this card, my throat chakra kept acting up. In fact, throughout this whole reading, I feel like my voice has been trying to get stifled. I don't know if that's you, pile 3, or if there's some sort of third chakra situation that we need to release. I feel like there's also some sort of conversation that might be had here with somebody, because I do feel like this has to do with somebody else. Let's go ahead and get your Egyptian gods cards. For my pile 3, we have Ptah skill. Back of the deck, we have Nut, understanding. I do feel like there is some sort of understanding coming here. I'm not going to show the card because it's got a little bit of nudity. And then for your final cards, we have the Destiny cards. We have New Beginnings. Interesting. I do feel there is going to be, back of the deck, yeah, power. So I feel like this is between you and somebody. This is between you and somebody whom you have ended things with, or there has been some sort of separation, maybe a break, if you will, within some sort of connection. And I feel like you decided to go your separate ways for a reason. I feel like it was best that you went your separate ways. I feel like this is something you both agreed to, because I'm not getting a sense of, even though we have the card understanding with and this back of the deck, I don't feel like there was a misunderstanding in what you two were doing, but there is still this need to understand each other more through separating, if that makes any sense. The flame, like I said, I feel like there is, like it's as an old flame or somebody that you used to have something here with. This is very similar to a previous pile, so if you're coming from that pile for clarification, I feel like you're at the right place. I do want to read from the book for Li Han, because even though I did my research of hers online, I never actually read from the booklet. So for the book, we have Li Han is a Vietnamese goddess of kindness, fertility, and benevolence. She is a powerful goddess, one of the 4 immortals of Vietnamese mythology, and one of the oldest recognized feminists. According to legend, Li Han broke a favorite wine cup of the Jade Emperor, and as punishment was exiled from heaven and sent to live on earth. She lived there happily until her death. When she returned to heaven, she was so moved by the plight of the people on earth that she chose to return to protect and help them. Li Han has the ability to both bless and curse people, and yet she is often depicted as a beautiful young woman, dressed in simple clothes. There is something here about you having left something, and instead of being heartbroken, instead of feeling like you weren't going to survive, you ended up becoming stronger, oddly enough. I feel like something here didn't break you as much as either somebody thought it would or you yourself thought it would, because I feel like in the past, when things like this have happened, maybe you typically run away or you typically let them devastate you or something along those lines. But I feel like this particular separation has shown you how strong you've become, has shown you how far you've come in not just your healing, but your capability to heal yourself. It's like the way you heal is so transgressive now. It's like you don't, do I even mean to say that word? I don't remember, but it's like you don't wallow in self-pity like you used to. Instead, you do the work to make yourself feel better. You dig in deep and ask yourself why you do the things you do, why you felt the things you felt. I feel like you've come a very long way from what you used to be. So this separation was actually something that was really good for the both of you. You and your person. This could either be something platonic, friendship, or romantic. I'm not really getting one over the other. I do want to read for the flame because I'm being asked to do so. I mean, I've mentioned before in my readings that anytime I see that card, I think of Eternal Flame, which is a love song, but because I don't think everybody here is talking about romance, I want to read from the book. So from the book, we have the fire, the spark, the glimmer. In Sanskrit, the word for fire is agni. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen and believed it to be responsible for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. Think of this card as a call to reignite that fire. to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten and protect the flame, no matter how harshly the winds around you blow. It could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call to you with the language of the flame. Yeah, it's like you never let your flame go out. I feel like there's something empowering about yourself now. And I feel like this is why there is some sort of clarification about a separation here between you and somebody else. It's quite possible that you could be coming back together, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in the same way. Either you do reconcile and you remain very civil with each other, or you just decide to be on friendly terms, because with these two horseshoes, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's this little golden one and then there's this other one, and they're hooked together. So I feel like together you have a lot of good luck, you have a lot of good times. It's kind of like you two cannot find anybody else like each other, because you know, when you are together, you bring about success, you bring about good work with lightness. And this feather here, it's kind of like, anytime I see this card, I think of the Egyptian goddess Mot and how she weighs the souls, the hearts or the souls, I can't remember, and compares them to a feather to see if they are pure or not. It's like you're both reevaluating what you each bring to a connection. And I feel like there is some sort of, you two just ignite each other. I feel like there's an assertiveness for sure, but also some sort of power dynamic with the both of you. It's like together you're really great, but together you're very apart you're really great, but together you're very powerful. And you're able to use the skills that you have to create something. It's like you're two parts of a whole. I'm really getting lover's energy, the card, the lover's energy, but you do not have to be lovers. It's more like two parts come together to create something of itself here. In fact, there's another card in the alchemy deck that I wish I could find. It's one about the roses, where they come together, and instead of forming the color of those two roses remain the same. Because with new beginnings, I do feel like there's some sort of reconciliation. However, I do feel like there may be a bit of a power struggle that you two have yet to overcome. And I feel like that's what you're meant to overcome. Like, you are both very powerful, you're both very understanding. This could easily be a dynamic where you both didn't know whose lead to follow, either yours or your person's here, because it seems like you could follow either one and still like succeed, but it's kind of like a battle of the egos between you and this person. If it was romantic, it's like you both wanted to be in your masculine energy, you both wanted to lead the relationship, so one of you had to cave in, and I feel like neither of you wanted to do that. And if this was a friendship, same thing, like one or the other wanted to take the lead. So I think it doesn't matter what this is. It could even be a work relationship, you know, a work connection, a business partner, where you both wanted to make decisions, but like you wouldn't compromise or you couldn't make it work somehow. So I feel like this is a reconciliation of some sort, and or I am seeing friendly competition, but if it was, I feel like it'd be a lot more aggressive than this energy that I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling something a little bit more peaceful than that. This is so interesting. Anything else that we need to know about this before we move on? I'm hearing to go ahead and move on to the tarot. I specifically want to see who this person is. They could be very Mars dominant. There's a lot of fire here, actually. Because with Mars, I'm getting Aries or Scorpio, or maybe they could just have a very strong Mars placement, like Mars in the first house or Mars in the ascendant, like I have. But there is something here about this person. Both you and this person naturally assert dominance. It's nothing you can help. And it's nothing that you even mean to do over each other. I feel like it's what both drew you to each other, but also repels you. Like this very dominating energy that you both have, but it's like you both can't be this at the same time. So you make really good natural opponents. I feel like you make really good natural rivals, but at the same time, you like to come together because you know you can use each other's skill here, which is very interesting. This has to be more of a business dynamic, or even like, if it is romantic, again, it was a bit of a, it's like your egos got in the way of who decided to do what. Like, you were both very strong. You both have strong personalities, so it seems like it just couldn't work for that reason, even though on every other account it seemed like things would be fine. So we're going to go ahead and use this is the Weaver Tarot. And the first row is going to be your person, because I do feel like it's one individual here. I don't feel like it's a group of people. So we're going to see who this person is. And I do feel for this particular pile, you can view it in any way, platonic, romantic, or business, or any other way. So who is this person? More specifically, we have the moon, so they could easily be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I think this card is specifically more Pisces, though I've always associated it with Cancer because Cancer is ruled by the moon. Or is that Cancer rules the moon? I can't remember. But this person is very much, they're a little, you could say emotional for sure, but I feel like they're a little bit more secretive. Like they keep their feelings to themselves. So even though they may express or say something, they actually keep their innermost feelings and actual opinions to themselves. Again, I'm not saying that they're deceptive, but they don't express everything right away because this person has a little bit of a people-pleasing kind of energy where they feel the need to say what needs to be heard as opposed to their own true opinion. And maybe that is something that you had an issue with here on their part or on your part. Let's go ahead and get how are they viewing you? We have Judgment, which is interesting. This is Plutonic energy, but also Scorpio energy. So lots of emotions are going on here. The way they see you is that you're all or nothing. The way they see you as rather intense, honestly, because they know that when you make a decision, it's either final. It's like they know it's your way or the highway, or they at least think that you are this way. Maybe some of you really are open to compromise, but the way this person sees it, I feel like either they don't want to compromise, or they have to go all in with whatever you have to say, or there's just something very final about your say. Maybe you found it very easy to take lead of this particular connection, this particular dynamic, and they didn't know how to compete with that. Even though, like I said, they also have a very dominating energy. Let's go ahead and see what are they going to reveal to you. What is the revelation? We have the Five of Wands. They really do, well, one, they miss you is what I'm hearing, because the Five of Wands is engagement. This is physical engagement, whether it's a lot of people, traditionally it's seen as more quote, quote, violent, but I've never seen it that way because it could also be like sport. It could also be play. So I feel like they miss the engagement with you. They miss whatever you both had because I feel like whatever it was, it just suited their nature. Like I said, very dominating energy, very Mars-like energy as well. You could both be fire signs or a combination of fire and water. This person though, it's interesting because as soon as I got this card, it's like they miss you. And I'm like, okay, I've never heard that card be expressed that way because you bring out something in them that makes them want to achieve more. This could easily be a rivalry as well. It's like you were both always trying to outshine the other, even if it was while you were working together. I feel like you both pushed each other to do better, and that's how you both achieve success. It's like, let's frame this in the example of a business. If you have two really good performers and they're really amazing at what they do, it's like their boss would want them to have a rivalry, would want them to always outperform each other because that's great for the business in general. But those two people would see it as like one trying to outdo the other, but it comes very natural to them. Like the boss doesn't even have to pit them against each other. They pit each other against themselves. That's what I'm seeing. That would be in a more business sense. However, I feel like you both put yourself in this dynamic because you liked it. And of course, if we're talking more romantic, the getting was good. I feel like some relationships do work that way. Like there are some romantic relationships where, I see this a lot with athletes or even like people more in the public eye. They like to outdo each other. It's their thing. And when it translates into the bedroom, it's even better. So I feel like if this was more romantic, they kind of miss the physical aspects of it for sure. And if it was a friend, again, there's a rivalry here. It's like without you, I don't know who to outperform, who to outdo because there's nobody else like you. It's just, if it's a friendship, it could easily be frenemies, I'm not gonna lie. So that's the revelation. I feel like there was another reading where something similar came through. Some of you guys must have frenemies that you are okay with because this kind of energy actually comes through rather, not too often, but every now and then it comes through. Let's go ahead and get their next actions towards you, if any. We have the World. Is this meant to be reversed? I'm not really meant to take reversals here, but I feel like the World isn't ending. Reversed, it's like they're kind of second guessing that ending. Whatever separation this was that you both had, they're second guessing that. Also, notice all the major arcana that they have. I feel like you leaving them or you not being in their life anymore has impacted them a lot more heavily than you believe or than you would think. I feel like this is why they're showing up here. Let's get one more card. Anything else that we need to know about this person or this revelation for my pile 3? The Chariot. Maybe you both like to race, or something about vehicles or cars could be important here. But regardless, I feel like they are going to step towards you. I feel like they're gonna say something, do something, definitely do something. If you two are people who don't really speak much, I feel like they're gonna do something to outshine you, outperform you, and you're gonna have no choice but to say something to them. So I definitely feel like if they best you in something, if they outperform you, if they do something here, you're going to go up to them and congratulate them. I feel like you would do that anyway, pile 3, because you're a good person, and because if there is competition out there, I feel like you'd be okay with that. It's like, you clearly love whatever it is that you both do. You clearly love it enough to give it up to whoever outperforms you or outdoes you somehow, which is so interesting. Another way of seeing this, of course, is that they are wanting to move forward with you in some way. So they may take you along here on some sort of project, endeavor, journey. If this was a relationship, like a romantic relationship, I wonder if, or even friendship, I wonder if you both love to go on like long car rides to certain places, or like road trips or something. They could ask you for this very thing. I'm specifically seeing two people who, when they hang out, instead of going somewhere or instead of hanging out in a house, you guys just go for like a long car drive, which is very interesting. Like maybe you have a particular destination you like to go to, but of course it's not about going there, it's about the drive there. Which is very interesting. It's very cute as well, especially if neither of you have like a place of your own. Like I used to see this a lot when I was younger, before I had my own place. So yeah, let's go ahead and get cards for you. How are you viewing this person right now? How are you viewing this person? The Pillar reversed. So this is Empress energy. And two ways: either you feel that they are in toxic feminine energy, more particularly if they are a woman who identifies as a woman. And if they're a man, I feel like you think that they are very much in their feminine energy, and you kind of, especially if this was like a former partner where you expected them to be in their masculine energy, I feel like that has somehow bothered you. Again, there's something about your dynamics here. You're both in very dominant masculine energy. So the fact that you see them in a reversed feminine energy, it's like you wish they were, I don't know, you somehow wished that, or still wish that your modalities were balanced. Either you're in masculine and they're in feminine, or they're in feminine and you're in masculine. And maybe you're currently seeing them in feminine, but maybe you want this reverse. There's something about the dynamics of this relationship that just bothers you to no end, whatever the case may be. So yeah, you see them as reversed feminine. So either the masculine and feminine energies here are imbalanced, or you may even just see them in toxic feminine energy, and regardless of their gender, which is very interesting. What is, so how are you going to take this revelation of the Five of Wands? We have Two of Wands. You're not trusting it. Like you acknowledge it, but you don't trust it. And Justice. Yeah. I feel like whatever happened, you feel like this has not been fair. Whatever they've done, you feel like it's not been fair. Or maybe, I don't know. It's like there's too many wrongs to be righted here. And you don't know if they're willing to take that on. Because before you even let them in your life again, you're going to want things to be back in balance. Because all three of these cards have to do with some sort of imbalance here. Mostly because they're reversed, but also because Justice kind of solidifies that. Like I said, I brought up the goddess Mot in the oracles, and it's like you're weighing their little heart or their feather here on these scales. It's like you're trying to determine whether it's good to have them back in your life or not. Because I think you also acknowledge that you did like the competition, you did like whatever you had, you did like the physical aspect. There's just something about this that either just doesn't, I'm hearing, doesn't turn you on anymore, doesn't really do it for you. Like whatever this is, it's not working anymore. And I feel like you know and understand. Like I said, you've healed a lot. Maybe you've even healed past the point of wanting this back. Can we get another card? Can we get cards for how my pile 3 should handle this? Especially if you came from the last pile. I know in the last pile I gave some really weird advice that I typically wouldn't take, or even give, but that's what Spirit was guiding me to do so. So if you're here for different advice, I can understand. So how should my pile 3 handle this? We have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, interesting. Can we get another card? And the Four of Swords. Is this meant to be reversed? Yeah. Two things. Back of the deck. Four of Cups. If you can keep your emotions out of this, I think it'd be fine, but I feel like it's difficult for you to do so because with this moon energy, I feel like they bring out a lot of emotional qualities within you, even with this Empress reversed. If you were to see the Empress reversed as you, it's like they take you out of your feminine energy where you would prefer to be this way, or they have a hard time keeping you there if that's what you want to be. The Page of Swords lets me know that you would have to make sure you are being very communicative with them on a basic level. It's like you cannot... Again, the understanding card is coming through. You have to be very clear with your intentions. You have to set, it's like, I keep seeing this energy of like you needing to set your boundaries, you needing to set the rules, you telling them how things should go. But it's like you're speaking to a toddler and you don't know, or a child, and you don't know what they're going to understand and what they're not going to understand. You know how when an adult has to tell a child something, something a little bit more serious, and they don't know how it's going to land on their little ears. That's what I'm seeing. And I feel like even just thinking about having to explain to them what you expect out of this kind of drains you, because as I was tapping into that energy, like you dealing with them drains you. With the Four of Swords, I mean, upright, it's taking a rest, it's calling, I almost said calling out, it's not having to deal with them. But reversed, I feel like you do have to deal with them because something needs to be laid to rest here, and it won't be able to go to rest until you do something here. What's underneath the Four of Cups? We have, yeah, the King of Cups. Ooh, the Magician. And the Knight of Pentacles. This person still has a lot of growing up to do. They still have a lot of growing up to do. This, especially if it's like a friend, this could be a friend who's a little bit younger or just is having a hard time maturing. If it's a romantic partner, again, they have not emotionally gotten to a place where they need to be. If it's a business partner, again, I feel like there could be an age gap between you and this business partner, even though you both have like really great ideas. It's like the same thing that drew you to each other is also repelling you. So if this business partner is, for example, 10 years younger than you, you like their creative ideas, you like their youthful energy, you like that they kind of get maybe social media a little bit more than you do. But it's annoying having to tell them what to do because, of course, you know, they're still very young and may not understand the things that you have to relate to them. That's what I'm seeing for some of you. So there's definitely been certain things that they have to write here, and I'm not sure if they're willing to do that. Like, sure, they may miss you, or they may want this, they may need this even for some of you. But for a lot of you okay, take that loud car in the background as confirmation, pile 3. What is that vehicle? There is snow out today. I don't know why. Sorry. I had to wait for that really loud vehicle to leave. But as I was doing all of that, I kept hearing the song, How Deep Is Your Love? And that's by the Bee Gees. That's the only one I know. There might be some other songs that have that lyric, How Deep Is Your Love? Specifically, how deep is your devotion? It's like, how committed are you to this in order to see it through is what I'm hearing. And I feel you asking your person here that. Or maybe this is you asking them that. Or this is you, then you're asking yourself this. Because for some of you, I feel like you may have just given up on whatever this is. Or you no longer want to play the games. I feel like whatever this is, you've outgrown it. You've healed from it. You've outgrown it. And maybe they haven't, or maybe they're still willing to make it work. Because we have more major arcana cards on their side, I feel like this is more pivotal for them. And for you, I feel like you're just, you're tired of whatever this is. You're tired of either this energy, I don't know, maybe they drain you a little bit. It's because I've noticed that both swords here are pointing down. Except these two Four of Swords. Well, it's not even 4 swords here, is there? Oh. Did they tell you something when it wasn't true? Like, did they say there was 4 of something and there were only 2 of something? Or did they tell you something that wasn't exactly the truth and maybe this is why you have a hard time trusting them? Interesting. Why are there only 2 swords in the 4 of Swords card? Sorry, Threats of Fate, nothing against you, but I'm just now recognizing this. And maybe there's something you didn't realize or recognize about this connection until you took some space from it and you put 2 and 2 together and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be taken for a fool anymore. So whatever this is, you have emotionally moved on from it. And the one thing you don't want to do is to get emotionally wrapped up in it again. because you've made your peace with this. And you know, if you were to step back into this, either your person has to emotionally evolve with you, emotionally mature in some way, or just, yeah, like something has to change, but I don't know if they're willing to take this change. Can we get more, can we get clarification on this before we move on to the rose petal reading? So more specifically, can we talk about the revelation? Because I feel like if you don't want to have to deal with this person, you won't. Anything else we need to know? Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something stable about this, or they see themselves being able to grow something with you. You have the Four of Wands. You definitely had a lot of fun together. Ace of Wands. Is this meant to be reversed? But I feel like there's no more fire here. Like, again, there's this flame. It's the flame card from the Oracle. And the Hanged One. And I feel like somebody here just, it's like you both have your own perspectives and you're not willing to change your perspectives because you both just see things very differently. Yeah, Tower reversed. It's like you both have your own perspectives and neither one of you is right or wrong. I feel like you're both right in your own ways. There's positive and negatives to your opinions or your viewpoints here. And I feel like there's just no compromise, honestly. I'm not really seeing that. The Tower reverse is like you want to avoid a Tower moment, and there he is again, the King of Wands. Something about the need for control, and if needed to do, and if somebody needs to do so, they're willing to not say the complete truth in order to gain control here. So I don't know. I feel like you may adore each other, but you may not adore the way you both do things, or the way one or the other does something here. So it's like it'd be wonderful if this could work out. But I doubt somebody here would want to make it work out. It would have to take years of somebody either changing their ways or changing their mind. I don't know. I just feel like a lost cause, even though there's like a wanting here. There's a, and in both sense of that term, to want something is to, you know, desire something, to wish something was, you know, to want something. But want can also mean a lack, like a lacking of something in the English language. Which is interesting that play on words is coming through here. So you both could be using the same word, but in different ways. A want as in a lack, and then a want as a desire. So whichever makes sense to you. But I want to go ahead and move on to the rose petal reading for some closing messages, because I feel like you really need to hear whatever has to come through pile 3. And I use a background for my rose petal readings, my little watercolors. And these rose petals were gifted to me by my sister Michelle. So let's see. You tried really hard to make this connection work out previously, pile 3. I feel like your dedication, your devotion, your willingness to make this work, see this through, cannot go unnoticed. It definitely doesn't go unnoticed by your person. Doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter whether they acknowledge this or not. And it's not that they don't lack the gratitude, or it's not that they lack gratitude. It's just they don't know how to give the way you give. So in that regard, you may have to let that slide by. This person does not know how to give because they've never had to give. They've never had anybody give so much to them. And that's not to excuse their lack of giving. It's just they don't know what to do. It's an inexperience that they have. But you really did try to make this work. And instead, you gave far too much in this. It's interesting. I'm seeing a star right now. You had a lot of hope here. I'm seeing the star from the tarot show up here. You had a lot of hope for this endeavor, connection, person, all of the above. You had a lot of hope here. I feel like you're always full of hope. This is what this person really liked about you. That spark within you that never really went out. Maybe quite literally a spark in your eyes. Because this person was very drawn in by your personality. Something that I feel like if they were very honest with themselves, they get carried away by really great personalities a lot more than they do by flash, substance, and looks. Maybe this person was just a little bit more on the shallow side, or cared a little bit too much about appearances, or whatever the case may be. Again, forgive them for that. They're going to learn very quickly once... I don't like to say negative things, but Spirit is saying that their looks are not going to last very long, at least not with the habits that they have, and not with the lifestyle they are currently living. That's nothing, and that's to humble them. They're going to be very humbled, and you might even have to see that. It could also be how they're spending money. Again, they're going to be humbled by life with the lifestyle that they currently are living, wanting to have, etc. And you give a lot. You give a lot because I think you even understood this person to some extent, whoever they are. Again, this is regardless of the nature of the connection. I feel like there was a kinship. There was definitely a basis of friendship at the very least, a basis of even respect, more so on your part than their part. I feel like, again, this person doesn't know how to respect. Or if they do, it's a very elementary way of respecting. It's like, I feel like they felt very humbled by you. They felt very humbled by a lot of what you had to offer them, or a lot of the knowledge you imparted on them. Even in some cases, what they've seen you do, they thought they were good, and then they met you, and it's like, well, I don't know about that anymore. They knew they had to catch up to you. Regardless, they had to step up. And they recognized that they had limits when it came to stepping up. They didn't know that. They thought they were unstoppable. And then here you are, showing them just how stoppable they actually were. Sorry, the play on words here. This person could be really good with words. But you gave far too much. And slowly but surely, this was becoming unbalanced. Had you stayed any longer, it would have been a lot. They would have drained, again, because you did so much. It was a natural draining process. This person drains a lot of people very naturally. They're not aware that they're doing that. They're not aware, so it's nothing malicious here. His person drains their mother. They learned from their mother how to drain, because their mother was very, very giving, and I mean absolutely almost borderline obsessed with this child. Maybe they were an only child or something along those lines. But this person, they got used to somebody giving them 110%. So they expected that from everybody. And if you were to ask their friends, if you were to ask whoever it is here, I feel like a lot of people would tell you this person naturally demands a lot without even trying. And it kind of aggravates a lot of people around them. Again, they don't mean to do this, but they're going to be humbled by life very quickly, because I feel like it's about time that they deserve that karma. And again, there's no ill wishing here. This is just part of their life destiny. If they haven't already hit their Saturn return, you will see it during their Saturn return. Regardless, this had the potential to be a very balanced connection. And they see it too. They're not stupid. They act stupid. They're not stupid. Any more than you are anyway. Your intelligence levels are very similar. And that's why whatever you know, they know. And I think they know that. Again, there's a reason you two were rivals. There's a reason you two kind of met each other. You met each other at the same level. You were each other's match mentally. Not emotionally, but definitely mentally. And it's like they knew that you knew, and they understood. There was a big understanding here between the both of you. Again, this is why you were both very compatible for some time, but it was your perspectives that differed. It's like we have two intelligence levels or two understanding levels that are exactly the same, but you come from a place of heart and emotion and understanding and of wanting to do better for others. This person doesn't. This person has been they're very much in their ego. And again, it's not even in a malicious way, though they could easily become malicious in that way. Like this person would definitely be like a mastermind, a CEO, if they wanted to. Maybe they will. And again, life will humble them if they don't learn their lesson. Because I feel like the universe brought you to this person so that they could learn something, because I feel like their guides, their angels, their ancestors don't want this person to end up being something rather dark. Right now, they're very bright. Right now, there's a light around them. But something could easily snuff it out if they took one too many wrong turns. And they've already taken some wrong turns. Again, you were meant to be a lesson to this person. But don't necessarily feel sorry for them. I feel like a lot of you won't. As far as the future of this, let's pick up these pieces that you had left fall. What would happen? I don't typically do this in my readings, but I'm being asked, like if you were to take back the things that have fallen off. Two things here. Either you would still not want anything to do with this because the connection's not going to change. I mean, you saw the placements, barely anything changed. It's going to take this person a while. They haven't been humbled yet, is what I'm hearing. And I don't know if you want to be there for that. Maybe it might hurt you a bit because you truly believed in this person. I feel like it would hurt you a little bit. Emotionally, not physically, not actually, you know. I don't think you wouldn't suffer the consequences of this unless you were to really like involve yourself with this person, which I don't see a lot of you doing. Not much would change. And that's unfortunate. There's a balance here though. I feel like you bring balance to this person. But the way I'm seeing it, the way I'm seeing you think about it is like, does this person even deserve the balance that I bring them if they're not willing to do the work themselves? You're not here to be that mother. You're not here to be that mother that gives them far too much and gives them 110%. You are your own person. You're here to bring equilibrium to you. You're here to bring all that beautiful, good energy to yourself. And if this person wants them to give you anything of that, they have to give something back to you. Like I said, you've given far too much. Something was very unbalanced. They have to give back to you. Oh, confirmation. That's snow rolling off my roof pile. Pile 3. But I feel like this is where I'm going to leave it. Yeah. This person. There's something else. I feel like you'll learn about it. You'll find out. This is the revelation. But thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose the smoky quartz point and the one deck or the one pile that has the odd goddess card, then we have your reading here for you about what is about to be revealed to you. So it's a long story as to why I don't have the dark goddess deck with me right now. I left it somewhere else is the most I can tell you. I will try and pick one from that deck though, just to be fair to you, because it's a pretty awesome deck once I get it. So I may just add a little extra bonus to the end of this pile. But a lot has happened to me since then. So I feel like this is going to be this pile is going to be interesting. Also, I'm not sure if any of you work with angels or archangels, but I have a special Archangel Michael candle here with me for added protection and added safety. I have a Catholic background, but I'm not really a practicing Catholic anymore, but I do work with certain archangels and angels as well. So for those of you who needed that confirmation, it is there. So for you, we have Mama Kila, the moon, which is interesting. This does make me think of the moon in the tarot, which is a card, oddly enough, about secrets that are to be revealed, or even mystery magic. We also have mortification and tin. Yeah, I'm not surprised, because like I said, I've been through a little bit since the last piles. It's been, I think, almost a week since I recorded anything. And there's something about the state you are in right now. I know it's not the best, and I know you're really going through it, but it's all part of a bigger plan to get you out of something. Because right now with tin, I feel like you're not in the best state. It's kind of like you're settling. A lot of you have been settling for something that really isn't meant for you. It's like you're at the bottom of some sort of tier, and you've been settling for something that really isn't meant for you. So if there seems to be some sort of upheaval, it's actually to get you to a better place. I'm seeing quite literally refugees being taken from a place that they used to call their home, but little do they know is that their home was turning into something that wasn't really the best. Like, it may have seemed like the best because that's all they knew, but it wasn't the best situation. So I feel like a lot of you are in a similar situation where right now you think you are meant to be where you are because of the comfort it gives you, but the truth is you were getting too comfortable in something that was not good enough for you. And I feel like a lot of you are having some sort of trouble dealing with that, like even coming to terms with it, which I understand. When all you've known is what you know, it's hard to understand that there are better things out there for you. So my love goes out to you, pile 4. I know you're going to get to a better place, but let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards to see what else is about to be revealed to you. I feel like this is the biggest thing though, and it doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't have to be an actual location. It could be a work environment for sure. I know a lot of people would agree with that. With some of the work situations, for some of you it could be relationships, it could be friendships even, that you may not know that those people that you've known for a long time, or who were at one point a really good community, are now actually just people who don't really want you to get any further in life, is what I'm hearing. Some of you have really uncaring people around you and you're not even aware of it. It's like, I don't know, I'm just seeing, it's kind of like, what is it? Zombie? No, not zombie. Vampire energy, like energy, vampire energy. Where they just, Even if they're not completely draining you, or you may not be aware of that until you get away from them and realize that you're sleeping better. So you have agape, love. This is unconditional love, starting with the love of yourself. I feel like you're understanding what true love is, especially those of you in relationships that maybe you even know it's not the best situation. Back, oh, interesting. Back of the deck, the vow. There is something here about commitment to yourself. There is something here about committing to yourself more than anything. Not only that, but where have people been lacking on their promises? What have they promised and what have they delivered? Or what are they? I keep hearing excuses, and maybe some of you are tired of hearing the excuses from other people. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. I did forget what decks I used whenever I was doing this reading. So if the cards are different from other piles, please excuse the confusion. Also interesting that we have a lot of blue coming up. So definitely a lot of communication. I feel like a lot of you are in the talks with a lot of things. We have Shu, order and peace. Yeah, maybe some of you are looking for that. You're looking for order and peace. But I'm also thinking of justice and order. Maybe some of you are looking for justice, for things to be okay. Like there's something about you not getting the justice you deserve or not finding the peace that you need. And I feel like either you're coming to understand what that is, or you are in the process of finding that very thing. Because it seems like, again, there's something here about you not understanding what exactly it is that is meant for you. Like you deserve so much better than you have now. And I feel like some of you have gotten a taste of it, or are gonna get a taste, or are currently getting a taste. It's like, let's say you lived, this is the example I'm being shown. Let's say you lived in a house or an apartment complex and it was nice, it has your stuff, you were used to it, but suddenly you have to leave it. And then the place that they send you to, the replacement or the temporary place, is actually a very, very nice, it's like a 5-star hotel because that's all they could find you. And suddenly you're getting used to that and you're like, oh wow, I didn't realize this is how people could live. You may even ask yourself how people could live like that. And you may be thinking, oh, they must have like billions and billions of dollars or something like that. And you somehow feel like it's not for you. So some of you do know what good looks for you. You do know what better is for you. This would be like, for another example, you're in a relationship where your partner has taken you for granted or may not be the best person. And then suddenly you meet somebody who is treating you way better and they're only a friend. Or maybe maybe you're seeing your friends and how their partners treat them. It's like you're seeing the contrast here. And maybe that's creating some sort of conflict within you. Let's go ahead and get another card for my pile 4. We have the Flower of Life, Source. Some of you are about to become very connected with Source. This could also be a reminder to connect with Source. I know when things are in upheaval, when things are kind of all over the place, it can be easy to forget to connect to Source or to continue your daily practice, your meditation practices, to remember that you are part of the divine, that you are part of a greater picture here. Which then, there's no guilt here, there's no fault there. We're all trying to be in survival mode at some points in our lives or even throughout the day. But remember to get back into your heart, to get back into your head space. And if you can't find that, try to look for any excuse to do so. Take an extra long bathroom break, or I kind of wish, and this happened while I was in Turkey when I was traveling. I stayed at the airport in Turkey for a while. Actually, I had a 20-hour layover, I think, and they actually have prayer rooms, which I always thought was wonderful. Of course, I didn't go into them because I am not of the Muslim faith, but I always imagined that even if I did need to go there just to do my own sort of prayer, that it would be fine. But it also got me wondering, why not just create rooms like that in general for people who need peace and quiet and nothing else, Similar to, nursing spaces for mothers who are nursing their children. Something along those lines. There's something about getting back to your basic needs here, pile 4. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent, but let's go ahead and get more cards. We have Flames, Initiation, which is interesting. I actually have 2 candles lit today. It's a little cold in this room, so I wanted more candles. And Cycles, Ouroboros. You're breaking a cycle. Oh, the mirroring here. 21 and 12, or 12 and 21. Yeah, you're definitely breaking a cycle. I feel like that's why these numbers had to come through. I feel like this is the best way. With Flames, some of you could benefit from... Sorry if you can hear that in the background. That's kind of loud. I'm not sure what kind of vehicle that is, but that was loud. But some of you could benefit from flame meditation, or even just lighting a candle for good luck, for energy. There's always, to me, been something sacred about candles. After all, like I said, I have a Catholic upbringing, and if you go into um, into cathedrals, Catholic churches, they always have like a section for candles, so that you can light candles for anybody, for any sort of prayer, really. Even the fake ones, they have like the little electric light up candles. You just pop a quarter in there, or whatever coin, and you press the button and it lights a candle for you. So some of you, I feel like you could really work with fire. I know I do, just for channeling and meditation. Let's go ahead and get your last card before we move on to the tarot. What is about to be revealed to you? So you're ending a cycle, and I feel like it's going to be a rather big ending. Some of you could be going through a Saturn return. We have Aquarius spirit, collaboration. A buzzing beehive produces honey. Working as a group can produce a result that far transcends what one would accomplish alone. Through mutual effort, solve problems by sharing ideas and defining collective ideals. The act of cooperation can provide a buzz of inspiration that lifts your spirits. So for a lot of you, you could be getting help from the community, from your friends. This also lets me know, I mean, this could also be online. Maybe you're finding a group of people who can help you online, but I feel like people are going to come to your help. They're going to help you out a lot. I feel like you're going to build some sort of community, or even just get to know your community a little bit more through this situation. I feel like when times get tough, sometimes you're forced to get out of that, out of your social anxiety. If you need help, you're going to scream for help to whoever can help you, is what I'm hearing. Not saying that your situation is that grave, but there is something here about reaching out to people who you know are in a position to maybe even teach you things. I had a situation where, I'm still going through a situation actually, where I didn't know what to do. So I'm literally reaching out to people that are, close friends, or who have some sort of experience with that. And even just through that, there's like a sense of community there. It's like, well, one, you get to know more people. Two, you get to know about their situations. Three, you get to know who's there for you and who isn't, and who's able to help and who isn't, especially in whatever it is that you're going through, pile 4. I'm trying to be as very broad as possible, though for some of you it could be location displacement. I'm getting that the most, especially with this beehive, because the beehive is like a home. But with agape, somehow the need to love and nurture and cherish yourself is being asked to come to the forefront, because nobody is going to look after yourself as much as you. At least that's what it's a little bit of what I've learned in my situation. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot. Lots of blue, so I feel like a lot of you, your throat chakra is opening up, or it's becoming strengthened. There's a lot of communication here. A lot of communication. And now I'm curious as to what your dark goddess is. So like I said, I'm going to record that at the end when I get my deck back, whenever that may be. It may be in a new location, so if this video, you chose the most interesting pile, that's for sure, pile 4. Let's go ahead and get your tarot cards though. So what's about to be revealed? Oh, by the way, if you hear that noise in the background, I do have a heater in the room, and I typically don't have a heater in this room whenever I'm recording, but like I said, it's a little cold where I'm recording right now. So, but hopefully that background noise isn't too bad. For my pile 4, what is about to be revealed? What is about to be revealed to you? Justice. Yeah, like I said, I kept hearing law and order. Justice. Maybe some of you are going through some sort of legal dispute, or maybe there's something here about karma, karmic debt that is being paid to you. There is something here about things just being set in balance. There's also something about things being fair or unfair. And this doesn't necessarily have to involve other people, but I feel like it's hard to not involve other people in some cases. Not to throw the blame around, but more because, again, you're realizing who's showing up for you and who isn't. Who's worried about you, who isn't. Like, what's going on right now? Like, in times of need, and when people know you are in a time of need, you're going to remember who was there for you and who wasn't. That's what I'm getting the most out of this situation for you, pile 4. Also, who extends their kindness, I feel like. Even when it's not necessary, because people may say that they don't have much to offer. But I feel like sometimes people just prove you wrong. And I'm not saying that you should expect anything from people, but I feel like, again, maybe people in the past have told you that if you need anything, they'd be there. And it's kind of like you wondered how empty those promises were. We have the Four of Cups reversed, but I also feel like this is teaching you to kind of keep your emotions out of it and instead focus on what can be done. Because it's very easy to get into, and I'm saying this as a very emotional person. I got so much Pisces in my chart. I got Moon in Pisces in the 12th house, Mars in Pisces, Pisces ascendant. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. So if there's an emotional person, it's me. I hide it well because it's in the 12th house. But here on this channel where we talk about emotions, because we're talking about tarot, not as much. So I feel like I'm more vulnerable on this channel than anywhere else. But we're talking about how we're not letting our emotions get the best of us. We're not letting our emotions run with us. And instead, we're focusing on what we can do here in order to avoid the disappointment, I guess. Because the Four of Cups can be disappointment. Reversed, it's like you're learning to deal with disappointment. Maybe some of you are already used to disappointment as well. Let's go ahead and get more cards, though. What else is about to be revealed to you? The Sun. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful because I feel like it's going to show you exactly how much you like. One, what a badass you are, pile 4. You do so much, and people take you for granted or discredit you. But if they knew how much you put up with, if they knew how much you smile through all the things that you go through, I don't think they'd be able to, like, they would never doubt you. They would never have the nerve to treat you any less than you are. Because my goodness, some of the things that people have done to you, said to you, how they've treated you when you've done nothing for them except be a friend, offer your companionship, offer what words of encouragement. I feel a gratitude from yourself to yourself. Like I said, agape, that love, it's an eternal universal love, a very platonic love, a love of the universe, a love of humankind, but also a love of the self. And it's like because you love yourself, you draw to you people who are worthy of, well, not saying that they're not worthy of love, but it's kind of like, I can't put this into words, but I see people around you who truly cherish you for who you are, showing and reflecting that back to yourself. Because you know you do the same for them. I don't know. I could just tell you're going through a lot, pile 4. Let's get another card. We have the Nine of Swords reversed. This is you easing your own anxieties. This is you understanding, like, once you're through this, because you will come out on the other side. Nothing is going to be able to tear you down. If you had any silly fears before this, you're going to quickly learn that those fears don't mean nothing or don't mean anything. Because you were there for yourself at one point when nobody else could show up for you. You were there for yourself at one point when people who said they would help you didn't. Or when people disappointed you, or whatever the case may be. You saw who your true friends were. And you learned to be your own best friend, your own true friend. You learned to be there for yourself. Let's get one last card. Two of Wands. I'm hearing an offer because I'm not sure if you could tell, but there's a hand outstretched here. There's going to be some sort of offer here that is going to truly help you out. I feel like this offer is going to be something that is... I feel like that's the most unexpected thing that is being revealed here. After this entire situation, there's some sort of offer. Let's go ahead and get clarifiers for this, though. It's going to be a long pile, but I feel like you need it, pile 4. So what else is coming through? Let's clarify this justice card. What exactly needs justice here? We have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's like you're going through so much. You're doing so much. You are being put through so much. There's this feeling that people see you struggling, and rather than help you out, they're just walking past or just saying hi and then moving on. Like, you know, it's like, how can they not see that you are going through something? How can they not see that you are clearly not in a space to be helping anybody? But I'm also seeing you having been there for people who were, when they were at their lowest, you were there for them. And when you're at your lowest, they can't be there for you for whatever reason. Let's get a clarifier for the 4 of Cups. You're really learning who your friends are. 8 of Wands. Oddly enough, I do feel like whatever you're going through, it's going to get resolved a lot more quickly than you realize. It may not feel like it at the moment, because anytime we're going through something, you know, awful, it feels like an eternity. You know, I'm thinking of like, and I don't want people, let me try and find a better solution. It's like, I'm trying to think of the best example I can come up with is like getting a vaccine. And I know not everybody's into vaccines. Like, I'm not here for that debate. But if we were to just take that example, it's literally a few seconds that it takes to get. But people who are terrified of needles may feel like it's an eternity, may felt like it was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or half an hour, because it was that very fear, that mentality there that was making them feel that it was longer. Or any sort, imagine yourself in any sort of situation where you don't like the situation, and even though it was only a few seconds, it felt like an eternity. That's what I'm feeling. Like whatever you're going through right now is going to be but a blip in your long, beautiful life here, pile 4. Again, sorry for the analogy. That was just the best analogy I could come up with. I don't want to hear about the debate on that. I'm not saying they're wrong or right. Let's clarify the sun. Let's clarify this, because I do see you stepping into a beautiful power. 10 of Swords. I love that all these negative cards are coming up reversed, by the way. I don't think I was reading reversals in previous piles, but I'm doing so here because the negative cards are coming up reversed, letting me know that you're going to be okay, pile 4. You're going to be okay. Because the 10 of Swords is like absolute anxiety. But here it's like your confidence outshines that. Your very sense of self-love will always outshine your anxiety. And I feel like you just need to let it grow. There have been certain situations around you that have been keeping you in this mentality that you don't deserve better, or that you shouldn't want better, or that better isn't allowed for you. And for whatever reason, I do feel like this situation, whatever you're going through, is like literally the rock bottom of that. It's like, no, I will not be told that I deserve less anymore. Let's get one more card. Or sorry, let's get a clarifier for the 9 of Swords. The last 2 cards. Let's clarify this. How exactly are these anxieties going to be eased? The High Sage. This is the High Priestess. Your intuition is leveling up as well. Like I said in the oracles, make sure that you're not forgetting to stay in touch with your body, your mind, your spirit in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just for a few minutes a day, I feel like tapping into that is really going to help you out a lot. Like even just for me, getting ready for this tarot reading, even while I'm going through something, has been a lot. It's part of the reason I love to do this so much. So make sure you're staying in touch with your intuition, no matter how much, because it doesn't take much. All it takes is like a few seconds, a few minutes of deep breath and feeling the universe around you. It's not like working out. It's easy to not want to work out because we may not have our tools, we may not be near the gym, etc. Because I know I'm always making excuses as to why not to do any sort of physical activities. But when it comes to the spirit, I mean, we're always there, you know, even if we're just lying down, even if we're just sitting. Allow spirit to come through, because it always has the best in mind for you. It always has the best advice for you. For a lot of you, this could also be a test in believing in spirit. Let's get the last, the clarifier for the 2 of Wands. This is the one I didn't explain. Because like I said, there is going to be an offer at the end of this. Ooh, the Hierophant. Because whatever this is, it has put you through some sort of test. And it will make you ready for something here. So let's say this is a work situation. Whatever you're going through at work, it will give you the experience that you need to be able to move on to something else. Like people will see how hard you're working and they're going to want to offer you higher positions, more pay, etc. Whatever the case may be. That's the best example I could come up with. For some of you, it's something else entirely. I feel like whatever you're going through right now, it's just proof that you're ready for the next thing. And there's going to be an offer made, whether that's more literally. For a lot of you, I do feel like it's literally. And for some of you, it might be more metaphysically, like an offer from a spirit guide or from the divine to step into something. And the best way I can explain that is, let's say, like, I don't want to provide my own examples right now just because I'm kind of going through something and I'm trying not to bleed my personal life into this particular reading. But there have been times where I was going through some sort of upheaval in my life and I used spirituality for that. And through that, I met a lot of great people who offered me a lot of great positions and situations and opportunities that have eventually gotten me to where I am. You know, I would get a little side job, a side gig, or certain things going here, and that's how I got here. And even though it may not have paid all the bills, it definitely paid some bills to get me to where I need to be. So it's that kind of situation. This is going to open the door for something here. Because it's only the 2 of Wands, it may not seem like the best opportunity. Well, it will look like a good opportunity. It may not seem like the biggest opportunity is what I'm trying to say, but it will open doors that lead to other things. There's something here about reaching out to people and people reaching out to you more than anything. So yeah, I feel like beautiful things are coming through here, pile 4. In fact, all the negative cards were reversed for a reason, because the bad times are not going to last forever. But let's go ahead and move on to let's move on to your petal reading. So I read petals with the help of a beautiful watercolor background. This is a watercolor I did a while ago, and it just kind of helps me visualize. And of course, this will mean different things in different readings. So if for whatever reason I explain things differently, I'm mainly channeling when I do rose petals. So yeah, for a lot of you, this could have something to do with a home or a place of living, because I'm literally seeing a house. I'm also seeing a star. And of course, the star in tarot is hope. It's bringing light as well. I'm also seeing I'm hearing the benefits of something. So seeing the benefits of a negative situation, which may be difficult at the time, but I feel like for a lot of you, there is a shift in perspective or a difficulty in shift in perspective, depending on the situation here. So Spirit is asking you to take a few deep breaths. If you need to pause this video while you do so, by all means do. Because for a lot of you, you've been forgetting to breathe and breathe deeply. Because there's something about, again, tapping back into your body, tapping back into whether it's the spiritual body or the physical body. And even just doing the little mundane things to get you back into your mind, body, soul are going to help a lot. It's easy to lose faith when you're going through something. It's easy to forget that you're a beautiful celestial being when you're going through something here. And it could be easy to fall into difficult patterns, or patterns that it's like, when you're stressed, you want to fall back to your bad habits. For me personally, it's eating chocolate. So it doesn't even have to be bad habits here. Some of you, it could be biting your fingernails. It could be, I don't know, just little ticks here and there. But that's signs that your body needs to release something here. So make sure that you're taking a lot of beautiful deep breaths. A lot of deep breaths. I feel like the help you're looking for is out there. And it's kind of like you're driving there. You're just barely missing the turn. Like all it takes is one easy to miss turn, and boom, there they are. There it is. For a lot of you, I feel like whatever's going on has been building up for some time. It's been building up. And you just haven't noticed it because you've been too busy. I'm recording this a little bit after the holidays, so maybe the holidays have gotten to you. You forgot to take care of everything else, including yourself. For others, there's this feeling here that you can't focus on yourself because you're too busy focusing on everybody else. And it's leading to a sort of burnout that isn't being allowed to burn out. So please, Pile 4, make sure you're taking all the precautions necessary to rest. Take some extra rest. Make it a priority to rest is what I'm hearing. Get that extra sleep in. Some of you might need extra food, nourishing food, good food, not junk food. I feel like there's something about finding a safe, quiet space too. Maybe you're looking for this, or maybe it's already there. I mean, metaphorically in your heart, of course, you could also be needing a quiet, safe space. And for a lot of you, I feel like if you really allow the silence to speak to you, it will speak to you. There's something here about the kindness of strangers. Like I said, I feel like you're going to reach out to your community and find out who your community is, who is there for you, and who only shows up whenever it looks good to them. You've been surrounded by people who only help because it looks good to everybody else. This is very much people. You've been surrounded by shallow people, unfortunately. And when they get called out on being shallow, I think that's what triggers you. But we're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about you. I do see you. There are new pathways for you. And they're very bountiful. Or at the very least, they will give you what you need in order to thrive. There's plenty of people out there with plenty to provide. I feel like you just need to reach out. Or maybe you need to be surrounded by the right people. I do feel like you will find them. For some of you, it's in your own workspace. Especially for those of you looking for a place to stay or a place to rent. You'd be surprised at the amount of people I know who own multiple houses for no reason. Other than they just wanted multiple houses. Which I know seems ridiculous in this economy. But that's what I'm seeing. But this is where I leave you, pile 4. Like I said, I will get your card, your Dark Goddess card, and see what she has to say. But I am sending you so much love. And please get some rest. Please look after yourself. Take deep breaths and everything will be okay. I'm sending you so much healing, so much peace. Take care. Okay, pile 4. As promised, I finally have my deck back. So let's get your Dark Goddess here. Just to be fair, what is coming through? A little extra special for you. Okay, this one. Izanami, potential. Oh, there is some beautiful potential here from you. There is something about the springtime bringing a lot of beautiful things, because her hair, it has like, these kind of remind me of cherry blossoms, and there's butterflies, of course, both that I associate with the springtime. There's also, her mouth looks like it's been sewn shut, and even her throat. It's so interesting. I feel like you're about to learn how to express certain things within yourself, about yourself, that are going to, again, either you're going to be the one revealing, or things will be revealed to you. But once things are revealed toward you, it's like you can't help but become your highest potential, because suddenly the things that were holding you back are no longer going to hold you back. You're going to have this beautiful, vast road, expansive, I see this big space in front of you, and you're going to fill it with all your beautiful potential. Maybe quite literally like a space, if you're entering a new physical space, a new apartment, warehouse, living situation, whatever the case may be. But I see the springtime being very beautiful for you. It's going to be not just of growth, but also of being able to blossom into something new here. But this is where I leave it, pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 5. If you chose this onyx buffalo, then we have a reading here for you about what is about to be revealed to you, what the next revelation in your life will be. It could be about anything. The piles have varied a lot, and it's been quite a journey since I started doing this reading. I feel like it's taken me 2 weeks, because I actually lost heat in my home, and it became so cold I couldn't even stay here. It's slowly coming back. I'm currently in a room that has a little heater, and it's keeping me warm as I do this lovely reading. But we're going to go ahead and see what's about to be revealed for you. So we're going to start with the oracles to get a gist of what this is. We're going to go into the tarot to see any advice you should be taking on it. And then we're going to close this out with a rose petal reading. Something about the throat chakra is coming through very strongly here, pile 5, because I'm having trouble speaking for whatever reason. So we have Mami Wata, good fortune. So I feel like a lot of good stuff is about to come your way. And Maman Brigitte, harsh truths. Interesting how we have two very, I wouldn't say they're opposite, but I feel like there's going to be a harsh reality that is actually going to bring you some good luck. Because this harsh reality doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Like, harsh doesn't have to be bad. It could just be very bracing, like very in your face. Like, sometimes a harsh truth is that you are a lot more, this is an example, though this could also be something that you have to hear. There's a harsh truth here that for a lot of you, you are in a lot more power than you recognize, or you have a lot more control over your life than you realize. And even though that seems harsh sometimes, the truth is that that's a good blessing, that you have that much control over your life. Because if you do, then you can do anything you set your mind to, which is beautiful. We also have gold. Wow, gold. Mami Wata, you really do bring in the gold, don't you? For some of you, the harsh truth could be some cold hard cash. I'm not going to lie. For some of you, the harsh truth could be that you're making enough money to finally do all the things that you wanted, but because you're not used to wealth, you kind of don't want to believe it. Because I've seen this example be shown to me a lot recently where something is just too good to be true that people start crying and they're like, no, no way, there's no way. Like I keep hearing that. For some of you, there's going to be some revelation that you are about to come into something really good, something really abundant. If it's not money, it could just be like really great luck or a really good job position, a really good job in general, or something like you could find out that the person that you've been dating for months is actually like a multi-millionaire and you're like, what? And you realize that you fall in love with someone who can take care of you, or you could realize that even though you weren't really qualified for a specific job position, you get it anyway and suddenly your income doubles. This is that kind of energy for a lot of you. You're coming into something amazing here. So good. Okay, let's get the rest of your cards because I'm wondering what this revelation is. This is beautiful energy. Pile 5, but a lot of you, you're going to have a hard time accepting it. So there's some caution here that you have to leave your heart, mind, and space open for this. We have Eros. For some of you, this could have something to do with love. I'm not surprised. I was doing a collective reading to celebrate my 3K subscribers, and a similar energy was coming through here in the forest. What is that expression? Seeing the forest for the trees, or the trees for the forest? I still don't know what that means, but every time I get this card, I think of that. English was not my first language, so certain expressions kind of go over my head. I say as I use an expression to express that. But for a lot of you, this is some deep soul searching, because you know what? I've never noticed this. This forest, there's like a little tent here. Maybe some of you have literally been living not within a home or within a stable structure, let's put it that way. And maybe you realize that you finally found like the perfect place to stay, and the rent or the mortgage is low, or the person who owns it is very generous. Therefore, they're okay with you staying there in exchange for certain services or something along those lines, which is very beautiful. I always told myself if I became like somebody who rents out apartments, somebody who owns a complex, if somebody was just willing to do maintenance on the entire building, they could live there either free or for very low rent, whatever the case may be. But maybe you're going to encounter somebody like that, pile 5. I wish I could be someone like that, but let's go ahead and get, just because I've dealt with, I've lived in and out of apartments in my youth, and even living in houses. It's weird how we take for granted things like roofs over our heads, you know? Let's get more cards. We have Hope, Rainbow, beautiful. Anytime I see a rainbow, there's 2 rainbows here now. I am being told to take this as like the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, also the star for whatever reason. I don't think the star in the tarot actually has a rainbow, at least not the Rider-Waite, but this is hope. This is something beautiful coming through. This is a chance, this is good luck. This is a strike of good chance is what I'm hearing. Maybe that makes sense in a different language. This is good luck coming through for you. Let's get more cards for you, pile 5. I love this energy. Some of you could work with, is it pronounced sigils or sigils? I was talking to my sister about this last night because I said sigils and she said sigils, or was it the other way around? Because I see them both in this card and in this one. Regardless, you're going to see signs of good luck and prosperity. We have Saturn, limitations, pruning the roots. Go to the root of the matter and find out what needs to be cut back. Limitation now can create expansion later. Connect with the part of yourself that is self-sufficient, practical, and experienced. I am hearing that some of you may have to budget for a moment, or you've already been budgeting, and it's going to pay off because you're going to start seeing that bank account grow, essentially. Or even, and this happens a lot when I start budgeting. Sometimes I budget, and then suddenly, like, I get a bonus from work, or I come into some sort of money, which is kind of like the universe telling you, good, you're doing the right thing by cutting back on certain expenses or cutting back on excessiveness in any way, shape, or form. It's the same thing with working out. Sometimes I just decide to work out every day, not so much for my body, but for my mental health, or just because my body is like, hey, let's do some yoga. And suddenly, like, the results are a lot more striking, like more visible, more noticeable than just, you know, a little bit of toning up. It'll be very obvious. So I feel like whatever you pour yourself into right now, pile 5, you're going to see the rewards of that tenfold. So just take a step in the direction you want to take it. The universe will meet you like 90% of the way, because they understand that you've been doing a lot. They understand that you've been, maybe some of you have been very down on your luck, or you've been going through something. I think this good fortune is coming through. And Maman Brigitte is that harsh truth, that harsh reality that if you take a step in the right direction, the universe will meet you there. And sometimes it can be frustrating figuring out what the right direction is, because you thought it was this and it turns out it's not, and you thought it was that, it turns out it's something else entirely. So don't be hard on yourself for taking a little longer than you wanted to find out what your right path was. The importance here is that you're trying and showing up every day. Let's get an Egyptian god for you. If you came from pile 4, that pile was a little chaotic. So I feel like this one is similar to the previous ones. We have Ma, truth and fairness. Look, a truth is coming true. So a truth is coming through. Well, I guess it is coming true, but it's also coming through. Some of you are going to be hit with some sort of truth. My gosh. Truth. Why does that... That's kind of hard to say in my mouth right now, because I feel like a lot of you haven't been dealing with the reality of something. Something that is truth has not been true. I don't know if somebody's been keeping something from you. It could have something to do with somebody that you were intimate with. But I'm not feeling romance in here. I mean, it could, but I'm not getting that as strongly. It's more like if you have somebody from your past who has been keeping things from you, you're going to find out, especially if they've been keeping money from you, or if they've been taking money from you, especially those of you who have combined finances. And there was a previous pile that had something similar, but that was very different. This would be the pile of like somebody from your past is coming through to tell you the truth about a financial situation. And that wouldn't surprise me for some of you. Like maybe somebody was taking more money or not paying enough towards something, and therefore they owe you. Maybe, and I know right now as I'm recording this, we're about to head into tax season where I live. Like somebody's, if you have either like a baby parent who is meant to pay child support or something along those lines, some sort of truth is going to be revealed about that money, and that could be an abundance that you really needed for you and your child if you have any. This is so interesting. Let's get your sacred destiny cards. Taking risks. Can we clarify that? Success. So you've definitely... Somebody else took a risk with something you own, something that is yours, and they become successful. But I don't think you knew about this. It's like you lend $100 to a former partner. They invest that, or they go buy a lottery ticket, and somehow it makes them a lot of money, but they never told you. I'm seeing that's one potential situation here. That was very specific, so it's not going to be everybody. Another is, if you take the risk, you will find success. But that risk is going to be very calculated. I'm not saying put all your chips into something. I'm not saying put your all into something here. But I am saying that if you're willing to take a leap of faith, the universe will meet you more than halfway there. That's what I'm seeing. Like I said, go for that job that you think you're not qualified for. You'd be surprised that maybe people are willing to invest in you enough to train you to be able to handle it. Or... like I said, if you have enough money to spare for something that could potentially teach you something, I feel like it'll be halfway there. Or even speak it out into the universe, what it is that you want, and the universe will show you the signs to get there. Because for a lot of you, the harsh reality is that the universe is conspiring with you more than you realize. And maybe some of you are just not really wanting to believe that. And if so, I feel like that's... because I already feel it. I feel like some of you have given up a lot. You've given up and you felt that you weren't worthy, but something is going to come through and change your mind about that. Something is going to come through, because I'm seeing Charlie in the chocolate factory when he gets the golden ticket. And what was his... somebody gave him $1, or he found $1 on the street. I'm thinking of the 70s movie. I'm thinking of that one. And he's like, oh, it's $1. Let me go buy chocolate. But then he's like, no, wait, I should give it to my mom. We really need the money. But instead he goes and buys the chocolate bar, and he gets the freaking gold ticket, and he goes into the... like, do you see that turn of events? That's what I'm seeing for some of you. It's very much main character energy. And I'm not saying that if somebody gives you... like, I'm not telling you to spend, a whole paycheck on something here. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's more like if you come into some extra... let's say you do find an extra $5 or $10 that you already knew you were going to live without, and you decide to get a lottery ticket, or to go into some place where... you really been wanting to do. It's something about following the following the light, following what makes you happy, following what makes you feel good. I feel like for a lot of you, that's how the universe lets you know that you're on your way to something good. There have been times where I mean, for me, partying isn't that much of a risk. I just don't like being so, at least I used to not like being social. So I would sometimes just take a risk and be like, fine, I'll go to the freaking party. And then I go to the party and I meet some amazing people, people that end up changing my life. Or I take the risk and, you know, make the first move towards somebody who ends up being like an important figure in my life. I'm getting that for a lot of you. So the risk doesn't even have to be monetary. I think for a lot of you, you have money on the brain right now. The risk could be saying hi to somebody or asking somebody for help or telling somebody your situation and wondering if you can work out a specific deal. Um, you know, I've had a lot of bosses who are like that, where they may know that you're not very qualified, but they want you to succeed. And they know that if they help you out as a person because they have a heart and they have a conscience, then they will at least have done something good in their life. You know, I've had a lot of bosses like that, and I'm grateful for them because now I'm here in my lovely little home with the life that I have, with the things that I have. And even though they're not much, trust me, I'm nowhere near, I don't make that much. I have very modest means, but I'm very grateful that I'm independent. You know, I don't have to rely on other people. Sorry, I don't mean to talk about myself, but I feel like some of you want you don't even want financial independence. You just want to be able to make a living and something comfortable for yourselves. And that's not much to ask for. I do feel that fairness and justice is coming your way as well. Because I already mentioned, like maybe some of you are dealing with a former partner who didn't pay you what you needed to be paid or who was taking more from you. Maybe somebody else was aware of this as well. Especially if you were to, for example, speak with their employer. That's very specific. Maybe some of you are getting a call from your former partner's employer and they're going to tell you, actually, they owe you this much because that wasn't their money to begin with. Interesting. But let's go ahead and move on to the tarot. By the way, this is not legal advice. These are, of course, just potential situations for certain people. And if you already know this is you, then you will know this is you. For some of you, this could be a call to give somebody a talk that you've been needing to have a talk with. So in the tarot, this may or may not have anything to do with what we just went through in these oracles, but I'm going to go ahead and ask. I'll restate the question just for my pile 5. Are there anything else that needs to come through or anything that we need to speak about? What is about to be revealed for them? What is this big revelation coming through for my pile 5? It's also interesting to note the goddesses you got. Well, one of them is a fertility goddess. You could see her as a goddess of life. And one of them is a goddess of death, Maman Brigitte. I want to say she presides over the cemeteries. She makes me think of New Orleans, so maybe some of you are tied to New Orleans. And I forget where Mami Wada is from, but she's very much a fertility goddess. So we have life and death here. So there's definitely a cycle coming to completion. Or some of you are restarting some aspect of your life, or you're definitely restarting over. Maybe some of you are used to this energy already. Also, you're the only pile who got 2 goddesses, by the way. Not including pile 4, they had a different situation. But you got 2 goddesses from that same deck. So what is about to be revealed to pile 5? We have the 4 of Swords reversed. You've been sleeping on something. You have not been aware of something. And it is about to be made aware. What will this reveal? Like, that was the revelation. I feel like that's the circumstance. What is about to be revealed? We have the 2 of Coins. Yeah. And 10 of Coins. Somebody owes you money. And it's a lot. Like, for some of you, it could be a considerable amount. Maybe it's just a few, maybe it's $50 or something. I don't know. But for some of you, it's a lot more than that. Especially, like I said, we're going into tax season. Some of you could mess up on your taxes and realize that you actually are owed more. But you are on the side of caution, or maybe whoever you go to kind of messes up. Again, this is not anything legal. I'm not guaranteeing this for anybody. But for some of you, somebody owes you more money than you realize. This could be an employer as well if they've been withholding wages from you for whatever reason. We have the 7 of Coins, work, and the pillar. So the pillar in this deck is the Empress. This is very specific for those of you who identify as more feminine. Somebody has been withholding money from you because you are a woman. I do feel like there's been some sort of either because you're a woman or because you recently had children or because you got married. Somebody has been withholding money from you because it's very basically sexism here. Like, I don't know how else to say it. This person doesn't believe women deserve more money, whether it's intentional or some sort of, like, I don't know, maybe they just have a subconscious feeling that certain people don't deserve more money than others. That's what I'm getting. So even if you're not a woman, or maybe if somebody heard something about, like, this has something to do with that. And I see this a lot. I see wage theft with women who have children, either because they have to take care of children or because they've recently had children, when the opposite is usually true. They need more money because kids cost money. So for some of you, you could be dealing with that. If the country or the place you live in has laws protecting against this, they could be violating those laws. Another way of seeing this, I feel like your employer has been violating something to begin with, and you could be getting money. I feel like I'm giving legal advice. Some of you could literally be seeking legal advice, or this is a call to do so. I am not a professional by any chance, but I'm just getting this download that some of you have not been treated well in a situation. Interesting. The pillar is Empress energy, so I'm seeing a lot of motherhood come through. For some of you, it could be your own mothers. Interestingly enough. Let's go ahead and get more cards. I don't always read Empress energy as mothers. Let's clarify this. Four of Swords, King of Pentacles. Somebody who has more money than you has been trying to control a situation. This could be, it could be a spouse, a former spouse. This could be a boss, somebody. Just somebody wanted to take something from you, and I feel like they succeeded, but they're not going to get away with it. Yeah, they're not going to get away with it. This person has heavy energy. We have Seven of Wands. And they were really trying hard to hide this from you. Like, maybe they even convinced you that you didn't need something. Or they convinced you that something would end up working out, and then it didn't. We have the Page of Pentacles. They see that you're naive with your finances, or they believed you to be naive. Also, I think all the coins cards are out here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10 cards. So already half of them are coins. And even the Empress can be seen as money, abundance. We also have the Lover's reverse. For a lot of you, this could be a former partner, whether it's a business partner or a former spouse, former partner, romantic partner who took more from you. I feel like you're going to hear about this through a third party, though, because I doubt this person would come clean, either through, again, legal advice or guidance that you yourself are seeking or are being guided to seek, or through an employer. Especially those of you who what's it called, the like, if you put their name in your, like, their name on your documents, maybe they inherited money from you and they didn't tell you about it. Okay, that's weird. This is so specific. If this is not resonating with you, by all means, go to another pile. But regardless, you are owed something and you're going to hear about it. That's going to be the revelation. Yeah, the Hermit. This person has been in hiding. They've been trying to hide the fact that they got something from you. They've been trying to hide the fact that they got away with getting something from you that was not meant for them. This person. Shady energy. Your partner, by the way, I know this says feminine energy. You do not have to be a woman here, and your partner doesn't have to be a man. I'm just getting those energies very strongly. Same thing with your boss here. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Yeah, a truth is going to be revealed. It's pretty plain and cut. Somebody has been trying to get something from you. They succeeded because you were busy, or you were not realizing this, or they banked on the fact that you didn't know enough. But the truth is, they took far more from you, and you're going to get that back. For a lot of you, I'm hearing like several hundred to several thousands. Don't quote me on that. For some of you, it could just be $50. I don't know. But for a lot of you, this person was taking more from you. And it could, if it's not money, it could be resources. It could be them taking advantage of you. It could be them taking your energy. Definitely your energy. My goodness. They were expecting so much from you. And maybe some of you already kind of knew this. You already knew that you were dealing with a parasite, or with somebody who just, they took far too much. Why are they being revealed this right now? Maybe some of you, if this is somebody from your past, maybe you haven't seen them in years. What is this, and why are they just now finding this out? Well, specifically, can we get a clarification on which partner this is? Some of you might have multiple partners and you don't know. So the clarification is the Five of Cups, Somebody who's very pessimistic, somebody who always had a sob story as to why they couldn't pay something, as to why they couldn't do something. They always had a sob story, or they always had something come up. Half of those sob stories weren't true, is what I'm hearing for some of you. That's not everybody. For others of you, this person got used to finessing people. Like, they also did it with their employer. They also did it with their family. I think, oh gosh, my throat. Yeah, this is a truth we're dealing with here. That somebody, you're going to hear this from a third party because they did the same to them. And if this family member, employer got compensation from this person, they're going to give you some of it too. Because they probably know your situation, especially if you have kids. Because they probably knew that this person had children with you. And they're like, that's not fair. Here's what you are owed. This is very specific, and it's not a guarantee for everybody, but I know it's resonating with some of you. And if some of you need this kind of situation to happen, I would claim it, because I know there's people going through some stuff out here. Why are we just now finding out about this? Four of Wands reversed. This person made it known. This person kind of revealed something to the wrong person at the wrong time. Well, I guess the right person at the right time, or they posted it on social media, or something. The Moon reversed. Like I said, they got really good at hiding all their BS. They got really good at hiding it. They were sitting on a lot more money than you realize and just claiming that they didn't have any. And I feel like some of you trusted this person enough because they were trustworthy in other situations. And the truth was, it's unfortunate. 8 of Cups. You have no emotional ties to this person anymore, so I don't think you care about this person. I don't think you even feel sorry, and I wouldn't either. This person, whatever they did to themselves. Yeah, King of Cups. You used to love this person, or you used to care about this person, or you used to really trust this person. If this was a boss, if this was not romantic, this could have been like a father figure to you. For some of you, it could literally have been a father figure. But somebody catches them, a third party, somebody that you both know, an employer, another family member, and they're going to reach out to you and give you your justice here. That could be part of the harsh truth as well, that you didn't recognize that this person was doing this, and suddenly it comes to the light, and somebody got mad on your behalf, and they were right to do so. And I feel like whoever this person is, they really are a good person. I don't know what your relationship to them may be. I just feel like they have a strong sense of justice. There's somebody out here with a strong sense of justice, and you deserve to hear that. So I'm grateful for whoever person comes through to let Pile 5 know about this situation. But let's go ahead and do your petal reading, Pile 5. For some of you, I'm hearing that this person with a strong sense of justice could be an attorney, which, yeah, I guess, yeah, no doubt they have a sense of justice because they're paid to do so. But still, let's be grateful for whatever it is that you're about to be revealed that could potentially really help you out, Pile 5. So let's go ahead and do your petal reading. I couldn't find the background that I used in all the other ones, but I'm being told to use this one for you anyway. And the way I do this, I just channel. So as soon as the petals hit the paper, I start channeling. This may or may not have anything to do with what we just read. But what is about to be revealed? You couldn't do something before? I feel like you had plans to do something, and then you had to cut them, like you had to put an end to them because of either this thing we just talked about, or maybe something else that happened. And instead you were burdened with a lot more. And I see you as the kind of person who likes to take on a lot of responsibility. Maybe you were an oldest born, or you had to look after your siblings, or either way, you were made to grow up very quickly. And it's unfair, honestly, because I feel like you're meant to have a lot of fun in your life. You're meant to have a lot more fun than you've been having. Maybe you even had to take care of partners. Maybe you had a very nurturing energy, and they just wanted a parental figure around in their partner, which isn't very fair. I've always said that there's nothing that kills the romance more than somebody who feels the need to be mothered or fathered, you know, somebody that you need to take care of as if they were your child. That takes you straight out of the romantic energy and straight into, you know, patient parent energy. Not saying that there's anything wrong with wanting to take care of your partner, nor am I saying that there's anything wrong with having patience with your partner, but when you're doing it consistently to the point where you're taking care of another human, an overgrown child, that's where it becomes a problem. So I feel like you've learned a lot about this kind of situation. You're overcoming that, and instead pouring all that nurturing energy into yourself, into your own inner child, into your own childhood wounds. Because all that nurturing, beautiful parenting energy that you were putting into somebody else, you can pour that back into yourself until you find somebody who is mature enough to be with you. Whether that's emotionally mature or just, I guess their attitude. I'm hearing somebody here had an immature attitude about things. Like they would throw a tantrum if you asked about responsibilities around the household or something along those lines. Even just about small things. Maybe you were asking this person to go see a doctor or to budget or to clean up, and they would just react in such a way that you thought they were a toddler sometimes. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. This person kind of killed your voice in that you felt like you couldn't even express anything anymore, and that's not fair. So a lot of you have some throat chakra healing to do from this person who felt that they could silence you just by throwing a tantrum. This isn't the first time I've seen this either. I feel like I read this kind of energy for a lot of former partners who just wanted somebody to take care of them. And of course, a lot of us have like an inner need to nurture and take care of people. But let's save that for children and small pets, or any kind of pet really, and not for people who really need to take care of themselves. For a lot of you, this person could even have been older than you, is what I'm hearing, which kind of frustrates you, I'm sure. It's like, some of you thought that getting with somebody older would mean that you would no longer have to deal with immaturity, and then it turns out some people just don't grow up no matter what. But I see balance coming into your life. I see you making it a point to bring balance into your life. You're very protected. Some of you could work with angels. Don't be afraid to ask them for guidance. And for some of you, your ancestors, I'm seeing specifically like a grandmother or somebody who's passed away, come through and want to help you out. You'll feel them the most when you're doing chores. Maybe some of you, your grandparents taught you how to do chores, or you would be with them when they were doing chores or cooking. Something about maintaining the household. Maintaining the household kind of makes you feel close to your ancestors for some of you. For a lot of you, you will love again. You will. I just feel like you're healing a lot. You're healing because you've been through a lot, and it's not fair. The whole world is healing, so don't even feel like this is just the universe being awful to you. There's been an upheaval in what people consider to be love. There's been an upheaval in what we consider to be worthwhile in terms of romance, relationships, and friendships. But you will overcome. And I'm very proud of you, Pile 5. You're about to embark on a new journey, and something amazing is about to happen. And you're about to get something that a lot of you thought you would never get. But this is actually going to help you go on to your next journey, or to pay for something you've always wanted to do. Maybe a course of study, maybe a trip. Yeah, I'm getting 9th house energy and even Sagittarius energy here. Also good luck. Lots of good luck and abundance. But this is where I leave you, Pile 5. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care.